Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New York Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz, and yes, it is Monday once again. We got some people in the waiting room. Let me bring them in. There we go. Admit all. Monday. Oh, wait. My video's not on. There we go. They're the beautiful people. Happy Monday to everyone. I am in a great mood. Recently, I reconnected with some family I haven't spoken to in a while, so I am in high spirits. And Mariella likes me. Oh, putting that out there. I'm shouting her out. Got to do that. Okay, so let us get into business. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New York Poets Cafe. This is volume 2, which means it's season 2. It's actually our 72nd episode. We've been doing this for nearly a year and a half. I love it. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. If you look up New York Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube, you will see it. And this is being recorded in all of our recordings you can find on our Facebook and YouTube. Those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, whether in the future or you're watching currently and you would like to join us, the number is at the bottom of the screen, 279-995-364. So if you are watching this recording, make sure you lock that into your Zoom and you know that on Mondays to just come in and join us. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council of the Arts on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help support us with a contribution, a tax-deductible contribution, if you go to www.nuyorican.org/contribute or on our Cash App, New York Poets Cafe. Tonight's theme, it's a joke. It is actually National Joke Day in Canada and I believe the UK. So it's a joke. We can flip it however you want. Of course, like I always say, people have poetic license to do what you want. Or if you don't want to write on topic and you have something else you want to perform today, you totally can. Please feel free to do so. Next week, our topic is going to be cosmos. I love space. Oh my God, I love it. So I'm really interested in what everyone is going to write about. As you see on the right-hand side of the screen, we have all of the themes coming up for the next 2 months. I'd like to point to September 6th. There is no theme. That's going to be our 75th show. There is no theme, but we're calling it 2-minute special. Everyone only has 2 minutes to perform their poem on that night. So I want to get to everyone on the waiting list. And for the first time ever in the history of the Monday Night Online Open Mic, I'd like to just be able to pick out someone from Zoom to share their poems. So if you would like to find all of this information, you can find it on my Instagram and Twitter. You look me up at Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, poetic license. I'm also on YouTube. You can go check out the highlights that we have from some of our previous open mics on my YouTube, Advocate of Wordz with a Z. Also, this Saturday is going to be jam-packed for me. 12 to 1, I am at Lincoln Center. And then on your screen, you see from 2 to 5, we will be in front of Wild Project. We've got an open mic called Wild Poets, Wild Projects, and the New York Poets Cafe are coming together. We're going to shut down the block. It's right there on the corner of 3rd Street and Avenue B. We have a long waiting list. There's some people who had signed up online that did so by accident or can't perform. So I'm gonna have room for 15 people to come and sign up. So if you wanna come down there, make sure you do all this information. Once again, it's on my Instagram. We'd love to have you. And also in the morning tomorrow, I'm going to post the flyer for Saturday because from 7 to 9, we have the very first online/offline open mic. Some of our performers are going to be inside the New York Poets Cafe. Some of our performers are going to be here on Zoom. I'm going to put all of that information up tomorrow morning. It has been a hectic week for me, and I'll explain all of that later. But first, let's get into some rules. Poets, when you are performing, please turn your camera on. We want to see you perform. We want to see those facial expressions. We're trying to simulate a real in-person open mic as much as possible. So if you're shy, you want to keep your camera off until you come to rock, cool. But when you're ready to rock, we need you to turn your camera on. Some rules: have your poem ready. We got a lot of people on the open mic list. We like to get to people into the waiting list. So to cut down that time, I ask that you please open your in a word pad or whatever it is on your computer. Please open it up now. Please be courteous. Another one: you have 4 minutes to read or perform your poem or poems. Do not give me 4 minutes 20 seconds, 4 minutes 30 seconds. Definitely don't give me an epic poem. Please, we have a lot of people on the open mic list. Be courteous. So in terms of censorship on this open mic, there is none. This is your warning. Most open mics don't have any type of censorship. I know some do. I just want to let everyone know right now, put the kids to sleep. You never know what you're going to hear. We've got no censorship. After our poets perform, you are going to see this message pop up on your screen. It says the host would like you to unmute. At that point, I would like you to click the blue button so that you can unmute yourself. With that being said, I have spoken enough. Those of you who are here in Zoom, make sure that you open up the Zoom chat, because I am going to post the open mic list. We had to have some changes. Some people had dropped out. So Catherine Badan got bumped up a little earlier. DJ Clearing was unable to make it. There's some people said they couldn't make it that were on the waiting list. So yeah, with all of that being said, I'm excited to get into it, man. I am in a good mood. First, coming up, representing the Bronx and Oakland, the woman with the awesome background, I so love that background, is Amanda Ashley Villanueva, the woman who can cut you with a compliment. Amanda, you know the deal. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's get into it.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to open this space. It's been a couple weeks, but I'm back. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Medium, Amanda Ashley Villanueva. Let's get into my piece. Definitely flip this theme to my advantage, so let's go. From a fatherless daughter, an ode to the body of my lover. Your body scolds me with solemn silence. Your body tells me not to dare make an autumn home of him, but to enjoy the summer vacation. Your body tells me, your body be the sweetest thing I've ever known. Your body tells me I am not safe enough, good enough to be here. Your body tells me don't get too close, but get too close. Your body tells me it is better when we come together. Your body reminds me of this life-sized heat I can't ever seem to beat on my own. I press tight against your body like a pole, like a phone call I'm deathly afraid to hang up, much too sick to run the risk of being unreturned. Your body likes its gold chains in my mouth. Your body, weary of my tantrums and my incessant neediness. Your body tells me we must take it slow, but wants me fast tomorrow. Your body does not call out for lovers who love it more. Your body affords to be restored by a story not of this contour. Still it turns this chapter into a chapel, your body an invitation of I miss you just enough. Your body rough around edges, yet still pledges allegiance to the grievance of what we would be if Pops loved me properly, if Pops loved me honestly. My venom wouldn't be Boston cream, pastries of lies, a surprise upside down cake, spoiling your birthday, making it your worst day. Your body a commodity for everybody, but I still take the biggest piece. I still drink your fountain of release. I still treat you like a dream. An ode to your body is a prayer to all hands that made you. An ode to your body reminds me of this life-sized heat, which we both mistreat. We both compete for the title of who cares less, as I beg you to undress me, you to confess me. Leaving was the last thing you needed. This seeded fruit still finds me cute, but not enough to get caught up. This fuss of an unwon fight still breeds fright on my forehead. Foreplay, deranged, estranged from this coconut tree. Your body tells me, history repeats, and to love a silent body is to self-inflict disease. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourselves. Give it up for Amanda.
And
let's fucking go.
What a way to open up the night.
Way to set it off.
Yes, that came
Set
out
it off.
fucking perfect, Stormy.
Amanda Ashley Villanueva, make sure you go and give her a follow. Last night, we got to rock out for the Magic Mike, and I just wanted to comment, also expand upon, Amanda had brought up that she appreciated that, like, I look out when we were at the shows to make sure that people are right, and I think that's really important that we all understand that when we put in shows together, we need to be looking out for the community, make sure that everyone is right, you know, because there are some knuckleheads out there, so I just want to say, yo, Amanda, I appreciate you recognizing that. Last night, I was just trying to get off the Zoom so we could talk about other people. Sometimes I get self-conscious with that stuff, so thank you very much. This community, we look out for each other. Make sure you give Amanda a follow. Also, Amanda, make sure you put your information into the chat so that people could copy and paste because we are lazy. Also, I want to apologize to Marissa Prada. In the email, I called her Melissa. It was not on purpose. Like, I have no problem getting at you, Marissa, for being a Green Bay Packers fan, but I would not mess up your name. And then she thought she was cute by misspelling my name in the email. I see you, you Green Bay Packers fan. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up, we got Deadpan Lizzie. There's Deadpan Lizzie. Deadpan Lizzie, who has made a hole-in-one in golf. Deadpan, let the people know where they can follow you online, and let's get into it.
Good to see everyone. Happy Monday. You can find me on Instagram, ES_Strauss. It's a little hot in here tonight because NYC is going through a major heat wave, so I'm just going to take it off. Oh, no, I'm going to double bag my beanies, actually, because that's what I do. I double bag beanies in a Yankee beanie, nonetheless, which is on theme for tonight. I have two poems. They kind of go within each other, so I'm just going to read straight through. It will be under 4 minutes, I promise. All right, first poem, or it's just called It's Not a Joke. There are those who believe what we are living through is all a witch hunt, that our voices do not matter, our opinions are stale, that our privilege and given rights should not be taken seriously, that a piece of cloth cannot save lives yourselves. This mouth is here to tell you none of it is a joke. Why should anyone want to disrespect our rights after many of us had to wait too long to express them? Why is masking up so hard to comprehend, seem as performative? Protecting each other, why is denying science even a phrase? I mean, does one truly believe that masks were not the reason very few didn't lose their lives to influenza this year? Let my words seep into your souls and brains, as I do not want to live another 4 years like that ever again. And to my beanie-wearing soul brother, Mr. Wordz. 'Twas not a joke in the late night hours last week. This Yankee fan is a freak in the sheets. Boston ladies, I'm on my back waiting for you to get freaky with me because I am a proud masochist. A Yankee fan since conception who wants to be your power bottom. Pin me down hard in your sheets, your sex swing, or your dingy hardwood floors. Fuck the tetanus shots. Fuck me long and hard with your Louisville Slugger Red Sox strap on. Your Bruins rabbit toy whispering, go Patriots, in my ear until the next Super Bowl. This native New Yorker who bleeds blue for the varsity wants to go all night long with the Jewish one of the New England region. So let's get freaky and play ball deadpan dirty. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for
Yeah.
Wow, wow,
Yes.
yes.
Dirty baby, yes.
Those socks are
Let's go.
That first one hit.
socks off.
a power bottom. I know so much more about Deadpan now. Deadpan Lizzie. Make sure you go check her out. Not only for her poetry, but she is also a real estate agent. So there you go. You could get, and I got to speak with her. And she's on point about it. She is not down with the slumlords. I appreciate a real estate agent like that. So make sure that you go and you give Deadpan Lizzie a follow. And I love that. Like pulled off the one bean and the other one was that. I love y'all, man. This community is awesome. What a way to start the night. Now we've got Ron Mark Thompson. Let me unmute Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. He always brings the sunshine, but no pressure because he's allowed to share whatever kind of poem he wants. Ron, it's a pleasure seeing you as always, brother. You know the deal. Let people know they can find you online and let's get into it.
Yes, it's a pleasure. And I'll be gentle on you, especially since you rocked the house yesterday at Magic Mike, you and our fellow men here. What a great event. Thank you, Fincapulary, for hosting this, Finn Bell, Camlin, and Versus. You can find me personally on at Ron Mark Thompson, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my organization Bronx Art and Fun Up at BXAFH, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. This Thursday, we're doing a stage play, and your own Diane Ward and Karen Schlesinger, who you know from Thursdays, will be part of the stage play. And next week, a grief writing workshop. These are the flyer with Marissa Prada. She will teach it all free. I'll put the link again when I'm done. Please come on over. It's, and learn with us. All right. I'm going to give you a trigger warning. What I'm going to read to the theme is some people may not like what I have to say, but you know what? To all of those, I say F you. Because remember, Marissa taught me how to curse ever since the favorite word ode we gave to Advocate 2 weeks ago. So I don't know what happened then, but I have to learn to stop cursing. But here we go. It's a joke. Billionaires shooting themselves up into space for a 4-minute joyride in penis-like structures to prove humans can float in the sky instead of spending those millions of dollars on education, healthcare, reparations, and well-being for humankind. In my opinion, that's a joke. Everyone wearing seatbelts when they drive in a car or donning a helmet on their bikes to protect their head. Yet others refusing to wear face masks to protect everyone and themselves from the virus. That must be a joke, must it not? Millions of people still not wanting to get the COVID-19 vaccine and then feeling sorry when they get sick and wishing they had gotten their shot. And crying when their loved ones fall victim to the hidden enemy still lurking out there. It's a joke, is it not? On a lighter note, getting 3 minutes to sign up for Thursday's New Year open mic and only having 45 seconds to sign up for Monday's open mic. At first seemed like a joke, but now it's just a cherry on top of the race. The Hunger Games each week, the challenge we all want to win one way or another. It's no joke, not anymore. Some people calling my non-profit organization the Bronx Art and Fun House, or Bronx Art and Fun Club, or Bronx Arts House, or as I also heard once, the Bronx Fun Place. At first, all of that seemed like a joke, but now it's kind of funny. I didn't realize the name I chose was that difficult to say. Bronx Art and Fun Hub. Easy, right? Onto my phone's autocorrect, suggesting the word porn when I type poem, or changing the words "you're great" to "you're greasy," or worse, "I'm going to the pool" suddenly becomes "I'm going to poop." At first, all of that seems like an interesting humor of language, but then quickly becomes annoying. It surely must be a joke. A businessman raping women, insulting entire cultures, getting elected anyway, running the country into the ground, then ingesting bleach, inciting to riot the Capitol, and insisting he had won the second time around and will come back to rule us once again. This is a very jokey joke, is it not? Planet Earth having warmed by 1 or 2 degrees in the past century, yet humans in industry continue to vomit on Mother Nature with carbon dioxide every day, every hour, every minute, like ashes spewing from a powerful volcano eruption. That must be a joke, right? Making me write a new poem each week to a new theme on Monday at New Year, and another one to yet another theme on Thursday's Fincapulary. That seemed like a joke at first, but now it is a welcome exercise for my brain, just like sculpting my body and molding my muscles on the bench press. No joke here. Having met beautiful new friends during the pandemic and performing with them almost each day in a different open mic in Zoom, sharing my happy thoughts, but also being brave to show my tears. Now that is definitely not a joke. This is real. This is me, Ron Mark Trankler Thompson, once considered a joke. I hope not anymore. The end.
Unmute yourselves. Let's get
Yes, Ron.
Do the Ron. Oh my God.
Ron, that's how you do that, man.
One half.
Yeah, Ron Dawson.
One half.
Thank you, man.
Ron Mark Thompson, make sure you give him a follow. Ron, also make sure you put your information into the chat so that people do not mess up the name and call it like the Bronx Funhouse or something. No, that sounds pretty cool for Halloween, right? So I want to give a shout out to Nick Paleologos, who is riding shotgun with me today. So in case Zoom wants to boot me out, Nick Paleologos will have my back, and he has been hosting a lot, especially on Wednesdays. So I think he's on the open mic list. So we are going to hear from him later, and he will be able to promote all of that. No, you're not? No, he's usually on the open mic list. All right, then he's rocking out with us today. He's rocking real quick. Let's unmute him. Since you already unmute yourself, Nick, let the people know where they can find you in the open mics that you're hosting.
Let's see here. Which ones am I not hosting? The Real Nick P on IG. My next one I'm hosting is this Wednesday. It's 9:15 with the Wordz, right? You want to go check that out. And I will be hosting also the day after that on Thursday at Vocabulary. So, and you get to hear Lacan and Marissa Prada, who you'll hear from later tonight and everything. So they'll be the features that night, and it's gonna be awesome. So hope you can make and come through. I will drop all that info in the chat. Much love to y'all. Rock out tonight, everyone.
Appreciate you. You can follow Nick Paleologos at The Real Nick P, but he's going to put all of that information into the chat. So before we begin, Tanish Kaur is next. But before we begin, because I know some people showed up late because they got lives, this is the Monday Night Online Open Mic. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. You look up New Rican Poets Cafe on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can see all of the past recordings and stuff. If you are currently watching us on Facebook or YouTube, on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see the number 279-995-364. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, I had put it in the comment section, so you can check that out. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and it is hosted by me. I am such a lucky host. This is a great community. If this is your first time around us, lucky you and lucky us. We like having new people. So you can find me at Advocate of Words. You spell words, that's with a Z at the end, because, hip hop, what? Tonight's open mic list is closed, including the waiting list. The open mic list, they fill up very quickly, as you heard Ron mention. So it opens up 24 hours before the show, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. To sign up, you would go to our website, www.newyorrican.org, and you would click full events calendar. At there, you would click on the Monday you're signing up for. So next week would be August 23rd. You would click on that, and you will see that there's going to be an option for you to get an artist RSVP ticket. So the only way to sign up for the open mic list is with an artist RSVP ticket. The view RSVP does not get you on the open mic list. If you see it sold out, or if it didn't pop up yet, that means it just hasn't uploaded yet. So you may want to click refresh. You can speak with DG Clearing or Amanda Villanueva, because those two keep getting the first spot if you want to find out the secrets on how to do that. Also, I would like to give a special shout out to Mr. DG Clearing, who had to drop out today. Of course, we know that we lost his father. DG, we love you, brother. You are in our thoughts. He's spending time with his family right now. He wanted to come hang out with us, but he got family from out of state. And I assure you, he will probably be back next week, and him and Amanda will get into a fist fight over the first spot. So I love you, DG. I appreciate you, man. I hope all is well with you. Let us keep going. Tanish Kaur is next. I saw Tanish. There she is. Tanish, I always like to talk about her hair. It's like that beautiful anime hair. Like, you could just tell, like, Tanish just wakes up beautiful. She's just like, shh, I'm ready for the world. Tanish, let the people know where they can find you online. Let's hear your poetry.
TanishKantos.com, Tanish Kantos on IG. Not just. The man bent over nothing, legs also bent, hand fondling a pipe in the afternoon sun. The man curled up, crawling like a baby in front of the corner store in the afternoon sun. This is not normal. This is not just or a joke or dignity or love at all, but greedy Jacksons and Franklins freely printing stripped of gold backing, greens of the eyes fixed on diamond line, mountain views and Palos Altos, fangs cutting, snowy kale, inhale anything green, like white dust, psychedelic kaleidoscopes of green. Anything green. Green like corporate cobwebs, like ivory towers, white skin. We're not flies you trap. You can't cocoon us in your silky green thread. Humanity is dignity. You hijacked green from grass and leaves, and we take it back. Thank you.
Unmute yourself, give it up for Denise.
Powerful, very powerful.
Beautiful. Thank you so much
Holy
for
shit, that was wild.
Fantastic.
Honey in the
It's
love.
beautiful.
Stealing the green. Oh, I love it. Tanish, Core Tanish, put your information in the Zoom so people can follow you. And I do owe you a message, Tanish. I'm not sure if you saw, I did respond to you, but I know I owe you another message. I appreciate you. And as people saw in that chat, like that voice, I love the way she reads poems, you know, like it's like fantastic. I'm gonna have her read my poems, then I'm gonna come off like a good poet. I love her voice. Make sure you give her a follow. Love it. Next coming up, ooh, the man with the sexy hair. Yeah, that's you. That's you, Mr. Michael Sindler. I look at you and I don't hear poetry. I just see that hair. I love it. Michael Sindler, I love you. Don't stare at the hair too long because the poetry's good. You don't want to miss it. Michael, as always,
but,
go ahead.
Okay. We all know, if there's anything all of us know here, is Catherine Badan does not need any beauty sleep. But nonetheless, she likes to leave early. So I'm going to flip and let her go 5, and I'm going to go 9. Okay?
Got you. All right.
Okay.
So we will come back to the hair, and now we will go to the apple of my eye, Catherine Badan. Let me unmute. There we go.
Thank you, Michael. I can use all the beauty sleep I can get, and I was just noticing the sunlight is making me look younger, so I'm a happy camper. Hi. Thank you,
Catherine.
Eric. You are such a good host. It's just so diplomatic. It's great. Okay, so I wrote the theme on It's a Joke. Oh, and you can find me, I forgot, CatherineBadan.com, and you can see my YouTube channel and my Facebook and my email and my photos, etc. Ooh, the joke's on me, the joke's on you. Ooh, the joke's on me, the joke's on you. When the life goes on with the flow and everything's working out, it's swell. But when it goes down the tubes and it starts to fail, the joke's on me, the joke's on you, the joke's on me, the joke's on you. When love and romance proceed in your favor, it's blissful to enjoy. But when there's heartbreak after heartbreak and assholes galore, the joke's on me, the joke's on you, the joke's on me, the joke's on you. When low self-esteem turns into anything's possible, it becomes a yay. But when low self-esteem turns to no self-esteem, then it's time to pray. The joke's on you, the joke's on me, the joke's on me, the joke's on you. This reminds me of so many of my past dysfunctional relationships, which I naively thought would be fine and turn out fabuloso. In hindsight, it's become clear to me, I sure knew how to pick them. I'd go for the sleaziest, scuzziest dregs of the earth. What a joke. Musicians with no money, actors with some money, artists living off of me. Nope, I never went for the stable types who were all really nice guys because I thought they were so boring and, well, just not my type. The joke's on me, the joke's on you, the joke's on me, the joke's on you. Or when I moved up to Vancouver, Canada from Seattle, after getting the okay from 2 different customs officers beforehand, I was still stopped at the Canadian border and they almost wouldn't let me in with my truckload of furniture, and I was subsequently taxed on all my possessions. The joke's on me, the joke's on me. In this case, yeah, the joke was on me. When I arrived at the lower level apartment in Vancouver, I found the renters still there, cutting their toenails in their bedroom on the shampooed carpet, which was still wet, flipping their clippings right onto the rug. Yep, you guessed it. The joke was on me. The joke was definitely on me. And what a joke. But now I've learned my lesson, or rather lessons. I fondly remember the cute, penniless Canadian street musician who came over promising me a home-cooked spaghetti dinner. I was so jazzed. When I opened the door, there he stood, guitar cradle in one hand while nonchalantly holding a big plastic bag of cooked spaghetti glop in his other. The joke's on me, the joke's on me, yeah, the joke's on me again. Oh, I sure know how to pick 'em. What a joke. Or how about the guy who stayed with me in LA rent-free for 6 months, claiming that no one really owned anything because it all belonged to God, and so why should he contribute to the rent? Boy, he was a joke. The joke's on me, the joke's on you, the joke's on you, yeah, the joke's on me. Ooh, the joke's on me, the joke's on me. Nowadays, I get my kicks by watching stand-up comics tell jokes instead. So much funnier, not to mention safer and way less emotionally painful. And I never ever get burned or taken advantage of or dumped because the joke's on them, not on me. Yeah, the joke's on them, amen.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Catherine Bedan.
Nice.
Great. Funny lady.
Flow.
Catherine Bedan. When you spell Bedan, it's Badin. Make sure you go check out her website. She is also a photographer. And yes, we all have our history of how we could pick them. We can laugh at it now because it's our past, but yes, we've all been there. Catherine Bedan, make sure you go and check her out. Next coming up is a beast of a poet representing the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area, San Francisco and Oakland. I love it. And that is Elemental. He always comes proper with the background. And his background is always matching his outfit and his hat, and then he's always on topic. You know what I'm saying? Like Elemental come proper. Make sure you give him a follow, and he just had his book out, Elemental. Let him know where they can follow you. Then let's get into it, brother.
Yo, I appreciate you so much, Advocate, the dopest host in the Zoom verse, straight up. One time, first time, all the time. Storm Gods in the building. Shout out Poseidon in the house. Storm Force in the building. Yo, Demolition Crew. Men Who Heal, Sound from the Underground. Yo, elemental.com is where you can find me. My book, Calamity, is happening, man. Plug in, check it out. So this, forgive me for my cynicism, but this is what I do. This is called, Oh, You Got Jokes. It's been said, all good jokes contain true shit, blueprint for lucid visions of heinous acts that date back before dates were kept, when sundials spun lies and white skies with blue clouds that rain prejudice. Send hecklers, professional court jesters in dyed robes soaked in black blood, proudly strike their affiliation to grand design, grand wizard, pivotal, strike gavel, dismantle feeble attempts at unification in any other space than cages. You actually thought they would allow proletariats to live vicariously through working and making enough money to do more than survive. Why would wealthy waste their time pretending to care, pretending the only contribution they care about are write-offs, philanthropic drops in buckets to wipe a few tears, maybe commandeer neighborhoods for beautification? You have any idea the cost of fuel in a G5? They could pay their entire payroll for years on pocket change carried by heirs to fortune, laughing at destiny, swimming in privilege once they get all the darkies out the water. White flight made suburbanite at safe distance, keep life from creeping into subdivision, cookie cutter, freedom fry, 4th of July. Pledge allegiance to concrete barriers, No Great Wall, no Berlin, closed curtains of encores, of uprisings, of Gold Coast with iron coats called direct quotas, district enforcers. You thought we actually had a snowball's chance in hell to be seen beyond shackles and American dreams. Tell me, how do you pull yourself up from bootstraps with no shoes? You don't. That's the point. Cherry at the end of the joint gets splifted on secret pyramids aligned with scars on souls at highest points of the night sky when real monsters come out to play. Full disgust on display. Ain't nobody playing with pawns. They're just pieces. It's a king's game. Damn shame. Everyone is expendable. Damn shame. Damn shame. Curse your lineage. Damn shame. Too bad you're not a Trump or a Duke or a Cronkite or a DuPont or a Monsanto or a Bush or a Crook in Brooks Brothers suits, tailor-made stitches that smell like scribbles on manifests and census counts. How could you demand reparations when you can barely confirm time of arrival? This country was built on survival of sickest tricksters that fought harder for liquor than civil rights. Come on, have a Coke and a smile. It goes down easier than dead jokes from gray coat throats, holding on to Senate seats tighter than white sheets with dictator's persona. Skin equals marks of stigmata. Money flow stoppers, trickle up bubble guts to make sure only shit rolls downhill.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Elemental.
Wow, yes.
Jesus.
Yes!
Good.
An immortal Roman round.
Damn.
Elemental. You can find them elemental.com. When you spell elemental, you take the T out, you put the number 2 in there. Go check this dude out and his book. They fought harder for liquor. Oh, that line hit, man. I'm not gonna be able to sleep right tonight, yo. Like my body just, I love this career. I swear to God. Elemental, go check this dude out, man. All right. Even though he be giving me problems every time I put the highlight reel and I'm trying to include everyone, and it's always got to be Elemental because he's just so dope. Go check him out. All right. Next coming up. I just saw Diane Ward. Hi, Diane. It's good to see Diane Ward. Everyone knows, like I got put out there, everyone knows. I am currently courting a woman named Mariella. But Mariella's got to know, listen, I'm sorry, if Diane Ward is ever free, it's all right, I got to go for her. Mariella wants Pete Davidson, I want Diane Ward. With that being said, let's keep going. Rich Glennon is next. Rich Daddy Glennon. I remember him when he was just Rich Glennon. I remember him when he was Rich Daddy to be Glennon, but now he's Rich Daddy Glennon. Rich, you know the deal. Let people know they can find you online, and let's hear your poetry, brother.
Hey everyone, Rich Glennon on Instagram and Tumblr. I have 2 short ones as usual and off topic as usual. The first one is called A Piece of Work. When someone is difficult, we as a society title them a piece of work. There's a piece of work in everybody's life. Multiple, usually, whole galleries of pieces of work hanging in the museums of the patient. I have a piece of work in my life. That's who inspired this poem. I was venting about them, then started a new stanza that had less rage, less typos, and more form. However, I don't only have one piece of work in my life. Like most, I too have a collection. But what's fortunate about my situation is the pieces of work take time off from work. Generally speaking, when one piece of work is working, the others will flip and face the wall, display their backsides. No longer do they exude loud colors, but instead the sagging string that once caught the nail. They generously yield the floor to the piece of work that must, absolutely insists on being a piece of work, and inexplicably hang around with wide, contagious smiles. And this next one The last one is called Landscape, and this one's for my parents. Landscape. After the sun is wrung from the brush, and the mountains crumble in an earthy stream, and the sky drips away, there is a landscape on the easel, and a rinse cup of gray. A gray akin to that which cracks my hair, but not the same gray you both have. Your grays, if you let them show, are canvas white, like that of the first snow, when the first grandparents led the first grandchild out into the swerving flurries, knowing instinctively it was safe, while the parents rested in the cave, entwined like a log that rolled free from the fashionable fire. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Rich Daddy Glenn.
Great job, Rich. Really nice.
Nice, Rich.
I hope your parents really love it.
Great tribute.
I think they would.
Nice, Rich.
And all of these open mics are recorded. So when the kid gets bigger, Rich could be like, look at your daddy. Look what I'm doing here, man. Look how the people love me. Rich Glennon, brother, I appreciate you, man. Yo, Rich, I know the baby's sleeping, but like, we knew you before you were a dad. It'd be nice for one time you just get the baby on camera. I'm not saying tonight, but the next time you sign up, I think the family wants to see the baby, all right? Rich Glennon, love this dude. All right, let us keep it moving. Next coming up is our honey trap, Mr. Paul Conqueso. Brother, I just really want to quickly say before I get in, Paul, I appreciate how much love that you give to the community, how you reaching out to people, and I really appreciate how you have my back and letting the people know I dance better than Pete Davidson.
Word.
My man, Paul Conqueso. And y'all need to check out his new poem, Queso versus Honey, or am I dyslexic, or is it the other way around? Is it honey versus
honey versus queso? But it's all translatable. They go together, hand in hand.
It's one hot mess, man. One hot, beautiful mess. All right, Paul. Paul, let the people know they can find you online. Let's get into it.
At Paul Conqueso on IG and Linktree. You can also find me soon in the Chulo 2022 underwear model catalog, because I just did a shoot today with La Bruja. So, and you can also find me this Saturday at the Lincoln Center with Advocate at noon. I'm gonna be performing there and at the Wild Project at 2 p.m. So come through if you're in the tri-state. If you don't, you're missing the fuck out. All right. So before I begin, I just want to have a mindful moment of gratitude, gratefulness. So if everybody wouldn't mind closing their eyes for about 2 to 3 seconds and thinking on something that they are grateful for, then I'm gonna launch into it. Okay, Advocate froze, he'll be back. All right, so this is called Mindful Medusa. It's 7 o'clock on the dot and I'm in my drop top cruising the streets. Yeah, and I got a real pretty little thing that's waiting for me. I pull up, anticipating good love. Don't keep me waiting. I got plans to put my hands in places I've never seen. Girl, you know what I mean. Only I didn't. Sometimes physicality comes as second nature, just like genuine connection, and you don't gotta fake that shit. Pulled up to La Ziza to meet ya, smoking shisha, blowing O's from that French exhale, watermelon and mint to complement Lebanese lemonade. Spice of fries and the flight of our wings prevail as chemistry collides for this artist meets scientist. Jellyfish on her bicep, the bells above mine moving, fluid as the conversation, conjugation of words led tongues to twist constellations, fireworks dotting sky in our eye line, but from our spot sound like gunshots. Left the spot, headed off to another party in another city, which may as well be another continent. Pulled up to your condo complex and tossed on the hazards. Haphazardly ran upstairs, prepared a couple cocktails and saw the fluid red moving in your Medusa locks. 11:11. That's when you looked into my irises and I froze in place. Rather than head to BK, we could just stay, make your entire home a house party all our own. And so we commit to this, extending our game with Tito's and mango mixed in both our mouths, because sometimes the best laid plans are those unmade. And we're not really strangers, more like lovers and friends. And I'll hold you to these goals for yourself, like the wall that we press full of your art. Baby, it hits so hard. I'm holding on to my chest. Maybe you left your mark, reminding me to forget. It doesn't matter where you are, you can keep my regret. 'Cause baby, I got these scars, reminding me to forget. Reminding me I got these scars, forget your love. Keep reminding me, oh, to forget your love. Baby, you left your mark in my skin, and your melanin complements my flesh so well. Yang as we yin, I bend to slip, filling you in. It's the perfect fit. Like they should mold this shit as my eyes fill you with intention, affection, reflecting. Remember, I told you to save it. It's over, and I'll be all right. So hurt me as much as you like. I need you to let go. I got these mementos, and I'll be all right. The way I know others have left their marks, you've got these scars reminding you to forget each of ours battle-worn, surgical, small of my back, pelvic for you, but I salute your sacred sacrum, honor your pelvic floor in every wall. And these other men who tried so hard to penetrate and leave their mark, violate and snake her. So she became the venom which takes those who would otherwise end you with broadswords, abhorrent abortions of justice thrust in vital organs. But your revenge was protection from those red sentinel snakes in hair, enough to turn even the coldest men to stone. Statuesque gaslighting pyromaniacals trying to choke and grasp all the gasped air out from your throat. This prideful rebellion all your own in living, creating static from skin, the goddess within, misunderstood, but I adore you, implore you to let my love adorn you. Baby, these fists will always protect you. Lady, you just gotta let my love adorn you. Let it dress you down. I tell you, your hips ain't never lied. Like Shakira, you tell me I'm funny as fuck like John Oliver, and I'm just trying to make our whole last week tonight. And truthfully, only one funnier than me is you, but that wasn't funny. You said as I clench my fist like an Arthur meme and turn statuesque, because darling, when I look into your eyes, I turn stone, but not in the cursed way. See, I see you as you see me, like we've known the flame in one another's soul for decades. And on this night, I choose to stay. You choose to let me. And we find that with this descent into modern love, sometimes it's not a lair in some cave to raid or a curse we must break. All it might take to undo the spell of Medusa's snakes is to make them feel safe. As we laid and stayed in lair, feeling no threat or fear, this day we wish could last a whole year, and to thank them for the greatest first date there may have ever been.
Woo! Unmute yourself.
Nice.
Magic Mike number 2.
Trinity.
Magic Mike.
There's Trinity right here.
Yeah.
Again. Does again.
Who's in that queso?
Oh, con queso. When you spell queso, is Queso. Make sure you give this dude a follow. Love him, man. Love him. Make sure. And yo, was Rob there? Paul? Simply Rob? Yeah, was he there too at the shoot, or you didn't see? No, okay. Are you sure you're in for the magazine? La Bruja wasn't just like taking advantage of you. Are you sure? I mean, you are a honey trap. Just saying. I'm just saying. I hope we all get to see the pictures and not just Bruja. I'll hit her up. I'll find out. Make sure you give him a follow, Paul con queso. All right. Now we're going back to Michael Sindler, who graciously traded spots with Catherine Badan. Let me unmute. There he is. Yeah, Michael, you know the deal. Promote what you want to promote.
I do, and I will, as always, promote lighthousewriters.org, which, once again, just check them out. There's so much good stuff going on there. Cannot recommend them enough. I tell you, there are times in life where you get busy doing something and you forget about other things. And one time, a long time ago, I spent like 3 days, like getting the whole inside, outside, everything in this bar ready for this whole like huge psychedelic weirdness thing. And then at the very last minute, I realized, I forgot to make a costume. But luckily, I lived in South Carolina, where everybody has a couch on the front porch. So I ran home, tore my couch up, and that's where this comes in. This is Last of the Wild Naga, Halloween cover story, Grow Cafe, 1980. Hey now, nice to meet you. I'm Fred Naga, Last of the Wild Nagas. We used to roam these here woods thicker than ticks on a yellow dog till them furniture industry boys struggling to keep up with all them third world chair factories found they couldn't afford to keep raising them cows for leather, even with selling off that meat and all elsewheres. They lost them cows and had to cut down on production. And I'm here to tell you, they weren't happy with that a damn bit. They was sweating bullets trying to keep in business. They was looking for anything, anywhere would replace them expensive damn cows. Pig skins too tough, deer wouldn't hold up worth a damn. They thought about dogs, but knew folks get way too riled over that. Hell, if they could have grown squirrels big enough, they'd have tried them. Now that made us roving flocks and nagas a natural prey, because our plastic skin was a perfect for them big old barca loungers and them front porch desks and couches. They hunted us through forests, thickets, fields, and swamps, up and down mountains, and even into caves. There weren't nowhere those old boys wouldn't track us. To top it off, our friendly nature and urge to give in to the gift of gab, we were one talkative bunch of birds, no denying that. Just made us easy pickings for any hunter listening for a good joke or a gobble of gossip. They was taking us in fast as they used to bag passenger pigeons, and while we thought we was no dodos, we sure wasn't as smart as we thought we was. It seemed every week there was dozens and dozens less of us left, and so many of the hens what didn't get skint got so crazy with worry they plumb stopped dropping eggs, and that meant doom was on the way and not far behind us. One by one, we was caught up in nets or snares or blown away with small caliber guns. They didn't want to use no shotguns or nothing like that because it ruined our precious skins, but a 22 kill you dead as anything else. Finally, I couldn't find another naga anywhere I looked or hear one answer my lonesome call. So now, like a foul version of old Ishmael, I'm left alone to tell the tale. Luckily for me, them hippies and ecologic huggers got the government to fix me up with a protected status, whatever that means. But I'm always on my toes and watching my tail, on guard against poachers aiming to turn me into one last footstool or beanbag chair. Even though them furniture boys most all been run out of business or forced to find something else to cover them damn chairs and couches and whatnot with, I don't trust them. And you know good and well, you don't blame me for being kind of chicken about taking that chance on getting skint. It's tough, I tell you, having to live in fear, always looking twice before you cross the road, because you don't know what's on the other side. So thank you kindly for that beer and that shot of bourbon. Now I knows y'all won't mind if I just slink way into the woods to rest up some so as I can survive to drink another day. Not to say I don't appreciate y'all's courtesy and company and all, but I don't want nobody snuffing the life out of me because I got too lit to know when to quit and made one mistake too many. So I'm off and out into the wild, my friends. I hopes to see y'all again, but that big old maybe's the way it's got to be. Because as long as I'm living, I'm part of the wildlife, don't you see? I'm free, glory be. I hope when I'm gone, you'll remember me. Because I'm the very last wild naga you ever gonna see. Bye, y'all.
Ooh, Michael Sindler, unmute yourself.
Nice.
Wow.
Bye, y'all, for me.
Fantastic.
Right,
That's
y'all.
the right on. Michael Sindler.
Good shit.
Very cool.
Look where you
Are you not entertained? Michael Cinder, he likes to promote lighthousewriters.org. Make sure that you go and check that out. Mike, I appreciate you as always, man. Everyone's liking the accent too and all of that, but it's really the hair. We're really here for the hair. I love Michael. Lighthousewriters.org. He likes to promote them. If he likes it, you may like it, so make sure you go check it out. Shout out to my brother Chance, who entered the room. In case you see him acting up, don't worry, that's just him. He's very jealous of me because he is completely unsuccessful and completely unattractive. But I love you, Chance. We got you, brother. I want to also shout out Kemlin is here and Lowen is here. They helped put together the Magic Mic that we enjoyed yesterday. It was great, of course. And of course, Finn Bell, which we are going to hear from her later. And And I see that she colored her hair. I noticed it yesterday. She didn't notice it. She didn't notice my message, sir, but it's okay. She was busy working. So we will get to her. But right now we're getting to another person who was involved yesterday, Ed Foreman. Ed, where are you? Is he here? I don't see Ed. Where is Ed? Oh, there he is. Let me unmute him. Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, before you begin, right, you are going to say where people can find you and do your poem. But before you do that, I just want to say, brother, I really appreciated the way you read your poem last night. I really appreciate the voice and the tone and the pacing you did. Like, I had to double check, like, wait, is that Ed? Is that Ed? I'm glad we got to see that side of you. And I just wanted to put it out on Front Street because I had to leave early and I didn't get to give you your flowers. And I just want to do that. Brother, I was so proud of you last night, man. So I just wanted to mention that. Now you know the deal. Let people know where they can find Mr. Poetastic himself, and then let's get into it.
Oh, you make me feel so fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I have to leave it to my poetic peeps. They always, always, always know how to burn my sheeps. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, how to find me. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and my IG is Eddie Foreman92. And remember, if the open mic is right, I'll be there to shine my poetificent, poetastic insight. And if you send me a request, if you can guess, I'm going to hit yes. All right. Hey, Advocate, how are you, my brother? You make my Mondays more funner. Let's burn boringness asunder. Let's spit and preach to help one another. All right. My name is Ed Potastic, and I hope everyone feeling fantastic. Please give me the time so you can hear my rhyme so you can all feel sublime. Okay. Hope you love my poetic chime. And this poem is called My Direct Punchline. Knock, knock. Who's there? Your bones are going to rock. Come on, stay here and care. Don't stare at the clock. It's a joke. Be fully aware. Tick tock, tick tock. Here's a joke. Be prepared. No contradicting doors or locks. Us in life, we're in a sarcastic affair. Please, no over opinionated blocks. It's a joke, not a vile hit or a tear. If you feel angry, go for a walk. Please don't be a boring square. Don't stay angry with emotional shock. It's words of laughter, not a questionnaire. Please giggle and chuckle, but don't mock. It's not to trigger or discriminate, I swear. Please don't be a statue, a mount, or a sock. Can't take a joke. Your laptop needs repair. Too bad there's no extras or upgrades in stock. The joys of laughter can't be compared. Let the jokester just talk, talk, and talk. Our lives are jokes. The punchlines are there. Listen, be more open and not deadlock. Please say a joke. Give a little light in this nightmare. Here's a joke. What do you call a painted clown? A peacock. Please, more open smiles and hearts. No more hurtful stares. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Ed Poetastic.
That was dope, Eddie.
So cute. You're adorable.
You're the best, Ed. You're the best.
Ed Poetastic. Ed, make sure you put your information into the chat. I love how we get to learn all these people in the community, and we get to see everyone evolving. You know what I'm saying? Some are growing upwards, some are like building that foundation, because sometimes you need to build sideways foundation before you build up. I'm seeing all of that, and I so appreciate those of you who may be new to our community. We love hearing new voices too. I'm happy you're here. We got some new people on the open mic who have never been on here, so I'm really excited to get to them and to hear them. And if anyone out there is watching, just want to let y'all know we want you to come too. I understand how it is when you have an established community that sometimes it feels like a little afraid to walk in, when you're newbie, but not over here. We love all of that stuff. Next listen, if we have Packers fans on our open mic, we will accept everyone, including this next Packers fan. Marissa, I am so sorry I spelled your name wrong, but your comeback was killer. Your comeback in the email was killer. I loved it. Yeah, you know the deal, Marissa. Let the people know about you and let's hear your poetry.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Advocate. Hello, Nugo. I really need to be in this space tonight, so I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you so much. You can find me, Marissa Prada, on Facebook, Prada Painting and Poetry on Instagram. I co-author The Word is Right, W-R-I-T-E, and I have a small press, Red or Green Books, Red, R-E-A-D, redorgreenbooks.com. We're publishing 20 debut poets and collections. My book is available to purchase. It's titled Conversations with Grief. If you don't have enough money to purchase the book, please let me know and I will send you a copy. This is something I think that a lot of us should just feel not so alone in. I'm going to give you a trigger warning for my poem, and I never do trigger warnings. So it's fucking heavy. It's probably the hardest, one of the hardest poems I've ever written. And it's an event where a child died on Friday afternoon. So I do want to let you know that that is coming, okay? It is titled Funerals Instead of Detention. First days of school are special. First days of a new school in a new grade with new teachers and new friends are fabrics that quilt together proud parental memories. This week, my daughter started middle school. What an adventure. My dad used to tell me all kinds of adult jokes, some about Jimmy Hoffa floating through a manhole in New York City. I mean, who was Jimmy Hoffa and what the hell was a manhole anyway? But my teachers laughed. I always had jokes back then, before children died at school. Back when it was monkey bars instead of manslaughter, picture days instead of identifying the body, PTA meetings instead of wakes, fundraisers instead of funerals, lunch lines instead of a vehicle procession, ball games instead of burials, concerns over COVID instead of needing Kevlar. You see, at some point, the laughing goes quiet because there is nothing funny about another fatal school shooting. Imagine. 2 boys, 13 years old, 8th grade. One boy bullies another boy. The victim's friend confronts the bully. See something, say something, right? The 2 boys get into an argument. Next day at lunch, bully brings a gun in his backpack, weighted down weight of who knows what, ready to end a life. He shoots the boy who stood up against his bullying square in the chest, left to bleed out in the one patch of green grass on the playground beside the track, the last place his parents said goodbye. Multiple shots fired, multiple gunshot wounds, children scattered, child seeps blood from his body until the last breath evaporates from his face. Armed school police detain the shooter. Gun belongs to the shooter's father, 13-year-old kid. The second day of school for the victim. He died, another statistic, child violence, school shooting, sent to the safe place that is supposed to be school. I wonder if he told jokes too. He sounded like a good kid. Don't fucking tell me school hasn't been safe for a long time. I will laugh. As if that's supposed to be some sort of comfort, that babies still find their beds 6 feet under a society that hasn't lost enough yet. Don't tell me not to worry when I drop my kids off at school. I will laugh. I received calls from both of their schools today, in fact, held my breath till they told me everything was okay. Fuck this being the norm, I will laugh. Fuck this being part of growing up, I will laugh. Fuck this happening to my grandchildren, I will laugh. My daughter hugged me goodnight tonight. And as I glanced at the magnets in my refrigerator, I realized there is a mother out there unable to hug her child because he's in the morgue. And now I'm holding my child saying goodnight. Sleep tight, mommy loves you. Talking with my daughters about this, I told them if they see someone being bullied to get adult help, not to intervene, not to speak up, not to draw attention to themselves, and then explain why they can't do the one very basic human reaction to help someone in need. Because when I hug my children goodbye at school, and I watch them walk away, I pray they get to live another day. Thank you.
Let's unmute ourselves and
Love
give
you,
some love to
Marissa.
Marissa.
Yes.
Thank you, Marissa. We love you so much.
Love you, Marissa.
Love you.
Love you, Marissa.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing
very
that.
Powerful.
Yes, sharing that.
necessary.
Parents and
The
teachers.
entire New York fam is now crying.
Marissa Prada, make sure you give look her up. Like I said, like she works with a lot of other different poets, and she's publishing other poets, and she's doing open mics and workshops and all of that. And you know, and we like to talk about how like filthy Marissa likes to get, but she can also do the other poems like this, and I've always known that about her. And I like to joke with her about being a Packers fan, but like that's all jokes. Packers fans and Red Sox fans are welcome, but we love you, Marissa. You are fucking fantastic, and as a parent, that is super scary out in this world. So like that hits me at the core. Marissa Prada, go look her up. The word is right. Go check that woman out. She is all kinds of dope and fire. Thank you, Marissa. Okay, we're gonna hear poems like that, right? And that's what I love about this community. Everyone has their own voice, and you never know what you're gonna get and what type of topics. And I think that's what really makes this open mic so awesome. Another thing that makes this open mic so awesome, and that is global. And we got people who are eating breakfast, hanging out with us, like my man Unmesh Mohikar out in India, and he's also got his own open mic I can check out. Unmesh, let the people know where they can find you, then let's get into it.
Yeah, thanks, Advocate. So you can find me at Unmesh Mohitkar, Facebook and Instagram. I have got open mic every Saturday, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. That is 10:30 a.m. New York time. And here we go. Happiness is a fraud, like a witch casting a spell. Never-ending mirage, enchanting beauty, making you run after her like crazy. You are not alone. The whole village has fallen in love with her. She seduces you. You lust for her. In return, never-ending craving, never-ending wanting. Yes, happiness is a fraud. Like a mission in a computer game. You achieve one to unlock other. Live many deaths to unlock one. Just to get the next mission called next level of happiness. Asking for more lives. And once you win the game, they ask you to give it all up, the moksha. Now you fight for your next mission to give it all up. Yes, happiness is a fraud. All the big shot millionaires who, in our eyes, have got it all and then left it all, not for moksha or for a great cause, but to hide their money, or is it an affair? And earn more money. Once again, I tell you, happiness is a fraud. If you are into it and happy to play the game, that is the name, the one which you can never tame, short-lived fame, a limited edition game, the name, the shame, flickering flame, also offered by God. Yes, happiness is a fraud. Yes, happiness is a fraud. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Unmesh Mohikar.
Nice, Umesh.
Yay.
Happiness
Thank
is
you,
a fraud.
Umesh.
Genius.
Poets, after you perform, make sure you check the chat. Umesh, make sure you check the chat. People appreciated how you flipped that. You know, when we are performing, people, I encourage you to go in the chat, say some nice things about the poet and the poem. They will come back and they will read it later. Unmesh Mohikar, go give this dude a follow. I love having Umesh, man. I always tell him, like, I know he's in India, but like, he's got the spirit of the cafe. Like, every syllable that he speaks means something to him. And I appreciate this dude, so make sure that you go give him a follow. I want to give a shout out. Oh, Propaganda Poet, you were on the waiting list, but you got moved into the guaranteed list because someone dropped off. Just want to let you know we are definitely getting to you. A shout out to Mia Aguilera, who is actually not on the open mic list this time. I checked 3 times. The last time I shouted her out, but she was on the open mic list. So I see her checking us out. I wanted to make sure that I gave her love. All right, next coming up, we got Scott Pleasance. My man, Scott Pleasance. You will hear us say, great Scott. We have a pleasant gesture, and that's when a poet gives up their space so someone else can perform. And it's named after this dude who so graciously did it many moons ago. He is representing New Jersey, but he got Bronx blood in him. Go ahead, Scott. Let the people know where they can find you, and let's get into it.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at IamPoet33. Let me clarify. I'm representing the Bronx, man, so I'm kind of displaced in New Jersey, just to let you know, man. All right. So I tried to stay on theme as much as I could. So here we go. When I was a kid, I would tell my older brother that I really don't get comedians. I think that it was something about my naivety concerning self-deprecation, mockery of yourself and portraying levels of self-esteem that breed insecurities in others and how they sometimes could turn this into something funny. My brother's response was simple, as he stated that we need them as they too serve a purpose, as we lied there watching the Three Stooges and laughing until our stomachs began to hurt. So are we really laughing at or laughing with? I would grow to choose the latter. I sometimes wonder what is behind the mind of a person that tells jokes for a living and jokes about the living, kind of like your forefathers, the founding fathers, the creators of this institution that is governed by the Constitution, a revolution, in persecution. Do you think they actually saw life in funny circular cycles, or did they use humor to hammer a torn form of expression? But what happens if the joke isn't funny, or only certain people laugh? Do you still consider it a joke? Last year, the White House, a joke. Drinking bleach, a joke. Immigration, a joke. The First Amendment was a joke until Kaepernick kneeled. The Second Amendment was a joke until they shot Philando Castile. The Fourth Amendment was a joke until New York approved stop and frisk. The Sixth Amendment was a joke until they convicted another brother. The 14th Amendment was a joke until we marched and marched and marched. The 15th Amendment was a joke until they introduced the 19th Amendment, until they introduced the 23rd Amendment, until they introduced the 26th Amendment, and we still can't figure out how to let everybody vote. Nope. Find the quote, 3/5 of a man, now that's a joke. On a lighter subject, there was a comedian named Pigmeat Martin who had a song called Here Comes the Judge. There was a comedian named Red Fox who had albums so explicit that they were marked for adults only. There was a comedian named Richard Pryor, who many considered the blueprint for Eddie Murphy, who was the blueprint for Chris Rock, who is the blueprint for Dave Chappelle, who is the blueprint for Kevin Hart. So if you're wondering how all of this comes together, well, it really doesn't. Or does it? You see, that's the joke. Well, here's the joke. What separates one poet from another poet? Answer, Ron, about 4 minutes on Monday night. And peace.
Woo! Give it up for Mr. Scott Pleasance.
Nice, Scott.
Whole truth. Hella whole truth.
The shit. Wow. Bravo, bravo.
Wow.
That was nice, Scott.
Boom.
Scott Pleasance, I am Poet 33. Look him up on Instagram. He will give you the weather and a poem. Actually, I haven't seen you post the weather up in a while. I don't know if that's my Instagram algorithm or you slacking, man. I don't know how to dress the next day if I don't see that. Scott I love this dude. He's got great energy, doesn't he? Make sure you give this dude a follow. Also, I want to shout out because I saw video cameras going on. I saw Mr. Nathaniel Beck join us. It's good to see you, brother. Oh, he got the beanie. He wearing the beanie. I love it. I love it. Also, shout out to Brandy Walker. Brandy, we haven't seen you on the Monday in a while. I see you on Thursdays, but where you been on Monday, man? Like, Monday gotta be here. Shout out to Brandy Walker. I hope all is well with you. All right, let's keep going to our next poet, who is Finn Bell. There she is. There she is. What is that, like an auburn or a red? I'm trying to understand with the Zoom camera.
I'm not so sure. I just trusted the woman who did it, so who knows what it is.
You look fantastic. You were popping on camera last night, even though you didn't get my message, and you popping on camera now. Then let the people know where they can find you, and then let's hear your poetry.
You could find me on Instagram at Finn_Bell, PHYNNE _BELLE. And this Thursday, I think that was already mentioned by Nick. We have Nick hosting my open mic, which is celebrate your really bad poetry, but it's going to be as a feature having two really great poets, Marisa Prada and Lacan. So please come through. I will put that in the chat. So I titled this one Joke Lang, which means in Tagalog, it's only a joke. I'll be waiting at the portico, Mina, to walk you to the jeepney. Elmer hovered behind her like the creeping heat of the Philippine weather right before summer hits. Mina was huddled with her girlfriends eating lunch on the courtyard benches. She swiped at her cheeks, reflex that wouldn't erase the flush beneath her skin. Yeah, okay. She was quick to look away as she walked off. Ano ba yan? What is up with him? Ang kadiri naman. He's just so gross. This from Tasha of the perfect skin and designer bento box meals, Tasha of the daddy's BMW and 500 peso weekly allowance, Tasha the Batangas sugar cane princess, Tasha of the eye roll that dictated all the rules. And the rules here were unspoken. It didn't need saying. Mina received the constant reminder that the opportunity to hang out with the luckies was a privilege, an honor afforded to only a few. You had to be rich, influential, or beautiful, or a happy trifecta, which is only the case with Princesa Tasha, and likely by her own design. Mina failed on the first account. Her daddy's military pension allowed the family to live a somewhat comfortable but frugal life in the Philippines, but not much more. No shopping trips every twice a year to Hong Kong and Singapore, no summers in Baguio to stave off the pressing humidity. Mina was a no-go on the second standard too. Sure, having moved from the Bay Area to Batangas 6 years earlier always made her that curiosity, that kana kid who never quite kicked the American beach bunny twang and still spoke Taglish at best. Not clout, but it was still something. Thankfully for her, she was super pretty in the way that was an almost kismet in the late 80s, a cross between a Pinay Gloria Estefan when Miami Sound Machine reigned supreme, and a petite Snooki Serna, where every teen Filipina dreamed all her adolescent woes could be solved with a magical appearance altering black blouse. Mina functioned under the persistent fear of breaking any of the rules and being more of an oddity than she already was. She was barely in the luckiest good graces. And merely beauty was not going to keep her there long. Oy, gaga, nakikinig ka ba sa akin? Tasha's petulant, hey dummy, are you listening? Pricked the bubble of Mina's deep thoughts. Huh? Oh, of course I hear you. Ay, sabi ko, I was telling the girls na, wouldn't it be great if you and William became a couple? All the aqua-netted heads circled around Princesa Tasha, nodded in perfect unison. Every queen bee needed their court of yes-fuls. William was one of my best friends. Like me, he wasn't wealthy, but he was smart and very good looking. And most important of all, in all the things Snow White loving culture that marked 1988, he was mestizo. William likes boys, Tasha. Tasha was disgusted and spoke slowly as if she needed to impress each word individually into Bina's skull. Ang tanga mo naman, don't be stupid, and who cares as long as he's handsome? Poging-pogi eh. And that's just a rumor, right? For the first time, possibly in her enchanted life, Tasha looked uncertain. The fools in waiting were a titter to please their ruler. Oo, Tasha, joke lang yan. It's a joke that boys like to make among themselves. Kasi, because William talaga is really pretty with those dreamy eyes and long lashes. Tasha was no longer listening. Instead, a pout creased the placid Korean rice bran facial mood of her impossibly gorgeous face. Ay, tumahimik kayo, shut the hell up. Speaking of a joke, I don't know why, but bumabalik dito si Negrito. Ang itim-itim naman. I mean, he's just so dark. Tasha. Tasha of the hectares of sugarcane. High school seemed like it would go on, and you would rule for all eternity. The joke was on you. In your teeny tiny princessapality, rich boys held the keys to the kingdom, not just the dark ones. And you didn't date them. You didn't plan a future with them. You ordained that their dark prevented them from graduating top of their class, going on to premier university, getting a PhD. I hear you're trying to slide into Elmer's DMs now, but no, girl, his wife won't like that. In your teeny tiny princessapality, pretty swan down boys couldn't be in love with boys painted as glorious as the deepest, most serene hour of the night before the sun takes over. The bliss of not ever realizing that you knew nothing at all saves you from the cruelty of a prank that you were never able to pull off in the first place. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves, give it up
Yes.
for Finn Bell.
Nice,
Wow,
man.
Trisha.
Yes.
Nice, man.
That
was dope.
Always
On
amazing.
point.
Quality.
Bravo.
Finn Bell knows her poetry. She hosts her open mic and podcast. Oh my God, I owe you an email about that. She's going to interview me. I'm looking forward to that, but I know I got to email her that. I'm slipping on that. I've had a rough week. But first, Finn Bell, PHYNNE_BELLE. Make sure that you go give her a follow. And I know this is like the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. And if you think about like what it means to be a New Eurekan, a New Yorker, and a Puerto Rican, we are very much mixed. But I love the fact that we have such a world audience. I love the fact that all of you are like willing to speak about your culture and even use other languages other than English. I love that. I so appreciate that. So if there's anyone who is wondering, like, would it be okay if I did it? Please do it. Please do it. Follow Finn Bell. Okay, let me keep moving forward now. Next up is, and Ron's making fun of me, yes. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. Alexander Goldberg, you're next. Okay, so yeah, so this week was rough because my kid wound up catching COVID and I wound up catching COVID. We are okay, just letting everybody know. We are totally okay. I quarantined, and I knew about once he started to get sick, we immediately quarantined, and then got tested and everything. But his mom, me, him, but we are all good. I just want to let everyone know that we are 100% good. We got lucky and we quarantined. The worst thing is that we were cooped up, man. It's been a rough week. Don't coop up, advocate of words, man. I hate that. So that's why I said I had a rough week, but all is good. That's why I think there was also, I missed hanging out with Scott Pleasance and all of y'all at Lincoln Center with La Bruja. I wanted to go, but at that time we were still unsure, waiting for results. So yeah, that's why. So nonetheless, just want to let that know. And I know, Ron, the week just began. It's a new week. It's going to be a good week. I meant last week, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. I love that dude. All right. Alexander Goldberg is next. Where is he? There he is. My man, Alexander Goldberg. Man, he's been here either from the beginning or damn near the beginning for a year and a half. And one day, me and him, we going skydiving. Oh, I so love that poem. Alexander, let the people know where they can find you. Then let's get into it.
Find me on Instagram, Gorbensky, on Twitter, Go15, on Facebook, Alexander Gorbensky Goldberg. So I'm glad you are okay, advocate, and so sorry you had the rough week last weekend, and I hope next week will be better for you. So I had a really funny dream last night, and I wanted to share this with y'all. This is called piggishness. The wild boars attacked my village. They walk in herds and on their own. They crushed the gardens of the people. They ate some strawberry and corn. There were complaints to village council. They did not find them. Nonetheless, last year, they did all of the counting. It's an unprecedented mess. I'm fighting off this pig invasion. but there is no one to respond. I call police. They're asking questions. When they arrive, the pigs are gone. I look at pigs. They make a grimace. They bathe and paddle by the road. Sometimes they can be such a menace, but they don't live here, I've been told. 4 years ago, they died from plague, but something happened. Now they're back. So long the pigs continue moving, we should just wait and stay enduring. We even gave this hog a name. It walks the roads that are the same, comes to the doorstep, eats the food, behaves just like the locals do. Hunting for boars begins at 4. So far, we can't touch them at all. The fine is $1,500, and that is just too much to pay. Those who make laws cannot control it. To them, I just wanted to say, I know there are some politicians who are behaving like these boards. We talk to them, but they don't listen. But that is just a joke, of course.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Alexander Goldberg.
Nice, Goldberg.
No joke, Alex. Wow.
Make sure you give Alexander Goldberg a follow. And I love the fact that now he's got his bow, his Zoom bow. I love it. He's been doing it for a little while now. I love it. I love the characters in this group and the different things we do. Make sure you check out Alexander. Like I said, he's an OG on the Monday night online open mic. I appreciate him. And I appreciate anyone who fights to go skydiving. You gangster, I love it. Next coming up was another gangster from the Bronx, the woman who never looks bad in any color. And that is Roz. Oh my God, Roz, I owe you an email too. I got to get you those flyers. Roz has a show coming up. She is curating. And she got her hair done up too. Looking good, looking good. Roz, let the people know where they can find you. Now let's see your poetry.
Thank you. Through Her Big Brown Eyes on IG and through herbigbrownyes.com. Also look out for my book. It's coming out this winter. Thanks, Marissa. And this one is called Bittersweet. It is said that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but isn't the humor in a joke dependent on the perception of the receiver? Laughter, the perfectly camouflaged deceiver. If you listen closely, you can hear the origins of the cackles, sound waves leading to true freedom or a shackle. Back in the day, kids would tell your mama jokes. She thinks, my mama ain't fat, but she ain't here though. Humor knows no boundaries, and well, some people struggle to have any at all. So sometimes humor can be detrimental like a time capsule that takes you someplace you'd rather not be. Lethal, like slashing healing wounds, wide open, loaded, like full of words unspoken. But with the same token, it can be a form of release, a kind of witchery that mends the broken, even if just temporarily. The ultimate release, a showcase of all kinds of teeth. Sometimes the laugh is funnier than the story. Hilarious, witty, corny, all different. Medicine for the soul that can heal just as much as provoke. How will they take it? You just won't know. Give it a shot. Tell your damn joke, because some of us live to laugh. End poem. Also, you just not gonna say nothing, advocate? I said end poem. All right, fine.
Yes! Yes! All right, Rami. yourselves. Give it up for Roz right there.
Ladies and
There you go.
Yay, you did it.
That's Roz.
Unmute so we can love on you.
I love the Boricuanes in that response there.
Gotcha, Advocate. All right. While I'm making Advocate the host right there, really quick, I got you. Bam, your host. You're good. I'm done.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I got booted towards the end, man. I'm so sorry. I was all up in Roz's poem, and then she talking about mama jokes too. Through her big brown eyes, make sure you go check her out. Roz is actually an OG too. I think she may have been like on the very first open mic we had on Thursdays, which is hosted by La Bruja. Thursday is at 9 p.m. Eastern. I know she's known La Bruja for a while, and I've gotten to see over the past year and a half, how Roz has grown. It is beautiful. I love to see artists evolve, man. I so love it. Through Her Big Brown Eyes on Instagram, through herbigbrowneyes.com. Make sure you check it out. Nick Paleologos, thank you very much for catching me, man. I don't know, man. Zoom got an issue with me, but we're going to move. Oh, my God. Whitney Salgado is here, and her haircut. I noticed. Shout out to Whitney Salgado. She is such an ill artist, by the way. She sketched me. I'm going to get that up into the New York Poets Cafe. You wait. On Saturday. Oh, I could do it on Saturday. Okay, all right. Instead of talking about that, let me keep moving. We got more people on the line, like Mr. Jeremy Lissimo, who I'm going to see. He's coming down this weekend, I believe. Let me unmute him. You coming down on Saturday? I'm going to see you, brother.
Yep, I'm going to step on that stage because I got one of them spots. So look forward to that. Look forward to giving you. I'm going to give my advocate a big old hug if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, how's yeah? I am all for it, brother. I'm all for it. So you know the deal.
I just won't eat. I won't eat honey beforehand. Don't worry. Okay. So let me just tell you on next Monday, I do have my next Cafe Generalissimo. I'll put all the info in the chat. And then on the 29th, wow, I didn't even think about. Is that the 29th? Which is Sunday? Is that Sunday night?
Yeah, I think Sunday is the 29th because the 30th is a Monday.
Yeah, we have Wide Open Pandora's Box, and both me and Finn Bell, and also Heather Archibald, who is one of the people who runs Creative Expressions out of New York City, are all going to be featuring at that. And I'm going to read a little poem. You know, today I had to go to the doctor and have a toenail taken off, and it made me think about this poem I wrote during the pandemic, which is a bit of a joke. It's called "Over the Moon for Tasty Toenail Clippings." I wonder if during a Zoom poetry reading, while someone else was performing their 4 minutes, I started chewing my toenails on camera. Would the host send me a chat message that we need to have a private conversation about my inappropriate behavior? I wonder if I accidentally wasn't muted and everyone can hear me chomping on an uneven sliver of thick, crunchy, big toenail and loudly gulping as I chase it down with some bitter, oversteeped Irish breakfast tea because I find Earl Grey tea and toenails are not culinarily complimentary. Would such behavior be considered worse than surreptitiously mooning everyone? I believe it would be. You can answer that question later, Advocate. It's been very hot lately. I think it's been hot for people in New York and all the rest of the country too. So I'm going to just read this poem called Don't Get a Big Head Just Because Marilyn Sang a Song About You. Dear Heatwave, is life fun for you? I wonder if weather patterns have social lives. I mean, would you date a hailstorm or blizzard or vice versa? Are you a bad boy in the weather world? I mean, all the high electric bills, rolling blackouts, and the Walmarts that sell out of AC units and electric fans. Would you bring a tornado or tsunami to Thanksgiving dinner just to piss off your family? On days when you are present, hotels raise rates at least $50 to $100. Do you get kickbacks? Do you see a shrink? Where do you reside when you disappear from the atmosphere? Scientists blame human activities for your continued persistence and increasing intensity. Are you anti-electric cars and windmills? I understand you are heavily invested in fossil fuels and multinational electricity providers. In the end, you just cause trouble and create hot sidewalks and heat exhaustion. Your most prevalent quality is that you are exhausting. You must thank God every day for the existence of the 1954 musical, There's No Business Like Show Business, and Marilyn Monroe. Thank you, everyone.
I love this dude. Give it up for Ken.
10.
Yeah.
10 in the house right here.
I would like to say,
Bravo.
that I will be around the area for an entire week. So the whole next week afterwards, I'll be there for that weekend and then the week after. And so anyone who wants to get together and hang out, maybe go to a museum, just text me on Facebook. And thank you very much, everyone.
Generalissimo, brother, please put your information in the chat. And yes, and I'm looking forward to you meeting you this weekend. I love getting to hang out with the other people I've already hung out with, people I'm looking forward to hanging out with. I really enjoy this community. And I've had like a lot of y'all give me my props, but I'm like, yo, I'm standing on y'all's shoulders. Next coming up is a voice who's new to, I think is right, Victoria Simmons. Victoria, you've never been on one of our open mics online, have you?
No, I have not. Thank you, Amanda, for inviting me to this open mic, and thank you for having me in New York Poetry Cafe.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you, Amanda, for inviting Victoria. Victoria, where are you from? Where are you located? You don't have to give us your exact address, but general area, where are you located?
Holding down Crown Heights, baby.
Oh, okay, Brooklyn. BK,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So I don't know what Amanda told you, but you got 4 minutes to rock your poem. Before you rock your poem, you see everyone they share social media handle. Now listen, Victoria, if you're in the witness protection program, do not tell us where we can find you online, okay? But if you are not and you want to freely tell everyone where we can follow you, please do. After that, floor is yours. Rock out with your poem. I'm eager to hear you, sis.
Man, okay, thank you so much. That was an amazing introduction. My name is Victoria. My handle is victoria.mod, and I will put it in the chat once I'm finished. So I was trying to find a poem on theme and everything because I signed up yesterday, and I decided to share a poem that I wrote when I was 14 because, I don't know, it's kind of jokey in my opinion. All right. Roses are red. Violets are, I'm just kidding. This poem's called Loveless or Beloved. I've got so much love surrounding me, and I know it's unconditional because I have tested it, disrespected it, killed it twice, and re-resurrected it. And with so much love and so many trials, when I knew it was there unconditionally, that I couldn't run from it. I was scared of it. I feared the potential they saw, the beauty they saw, the delicate, strong individual person they saw, not willing to take the path to righteousness. That is my fate. I killed the me they saw and stored it away. I made up a me that is not me, so numb without passion, impenetrable to heartbreak and any other feeling. In that case, that person, that thing hiding inside me to cope with the pain. I was so blind, for its destiny was not cold like it, but hot. But listen to the was, cause hot is not my fate. That abomination, that ungodly creation is now deceased. R.I.P. The other me buried, and today forgotten. I've got so much love surrounding me. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up.
Yes. Welcome in.
Love it. One of us.
No
One
longer
of us.
waiting. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Victoria Simmons, if you heard our cult leader Nick Paleolo goes to screaming one of us. And what that means now from moving on forward, Victoria, you are not allowed to have plans on Monday night because every Monday night you're going to have to come and hang out with us. And I so love your beginning. I didn't see it coming. And then like, roses are red. Like, I love that beginning. That was awesome. Victoria Simmons representing Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Oh, yes. Thank you, Amanda, for bringing her. I love it. I love it. I love it. I enjoy it. All right, let's keep it moving. Next up, listen, our next poet who's coming up, there would be no online open mics if it was not for her. She was working behind the scenes at the New Yo. She's no longer with us because she is doing other things, but we are online and doing these things because she was a part of the team that helped put it together. And since before the pandemic, she was running our social media account, and she is a writer, and she is an actress, and she's a curator. Look, we could just spend an hour talking about things this woman does. Instead, we're just going to hear a poem. Emily Cordes. Emily, let the people know where they can find you online, including your Instagram handle, which you know I love.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. I am Postmodern Psyche on Instagram. I will drop that all in the chat when I'm done. Okay, so got a couple new ones for you. This first one is I wrote as part of Paul Conquesto's Make It Make Sense workshop back in July. So this one's called Seabird. I live inside my head. It's no surprise that flesh gets left behind. The world I walked in never felt that safe. So like a wayward bird, I take to sky. Hollowed out my bones so I could fly. Hollowed out my insides so their churn wouldn't distract me. Hollowed my heart just enough to keep the pain at bay. Pinata made of crepe paper mache with sugar guts spilled out and stitched back up. But sometimes when the light's just right and the breeze is a fond lover, I remember even seabirds pause in flight and hover over beachside towns where caramel sunlight spills across the hours and air's salt butter sweetness we devour. Mounting thermals like steep coasters over midway rides, their cries commingling with shrieks of delight, the clinks and pops of buzzing arcade nights, and murmuring beneath, soft cool like linen sheets, the heartbeat of the ocean's lullaby. But I, a foolish seabird, live just barely in between, bound to land but looking skyward, caught betwixt the air and sea. Wings won't hold aloft much longer, but the ether calls to me. Give me a kind place to land. Remind me that my feet aren't poor substitutes for feathers, but the roots that go beneath. And descent from greater heights can become a graceful dive, not just a storm-tossed wreckage of defeat. For the treasures left behind by the gracious ocean tides are meant for those brave seekers on the beach. Okay, this next one is a little bit of a later response to the prompt from a couple weeks back, Naked. This one's called Exposure. It's easier to flash a bit of skin than share your heart. Tassels twirling, grins lascivious, 'cause striptease is an art. Play the game of truth or bear, keep them begging for the parts, left implied through winks and gestures, poker-faced, a queen of hearts. Mistress of your own dominion, cast your glamour like a charm when the image you concocted turns into a suit of armor and your body's now a weapon aimed at everyone that's harmed you. Stand outside naked, you'll die of exposure. When the wind gets so cold, better that no one knows you. So you skate on the surface when the lake's frozen over, 'cause you know if you deep dive, you'll freeze to the bones. When the wind knocks the doors down, but nobody's home, the unadorned truth leaves you standing alone. It's a danger to stand in your glory and brokenness, part the curtain and give backstage tours at the show, grant an all-access pass, share the pulleys and ropes that you pull just to get here. You pray and you hope that the gifts that you offer aren't cast off as broken, regarded as trinkets, discarded, unopened. That's the chance that you take when your nude turns to naked. Will the ones who once cheered you turn rough and abrasive? But a spirit can't rise when it's covered, ashamed. So strip yourself joyfully, step out on stage, ass and tits and fierce soul proudly put on display, and a finger and smile in salute to the haters. 'Cause the ones who don't care have no right to your radiance, and exposure's the ticket price of true creation. Thank you.
Oh my God, unmute yourself. Give it up for Emily.
Yes, yes.
And next
Fantastic,
10.
Emily.
She's 10 in the house.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Emily, yeah.
Just
damn.
Emily Cordes. Oh my God, I love it. There were so many quotables in there. You know, it's easier to bear flesh than your heart, right? Like there's just so many quotables in there. Emily Cordes, Postmodern Psyche on Instagram. Make sure you give her a follow. She's also an actress. She does theater. My heart is with theater. I love the people who do theater. I'm a little biased towards people in theater. You know what I mean? So I love it. Emily Cordes, and she works her ass off. Make sure you go check her out. All right. Before we move forward, I want to give some shouts to people who are not on the open mic list, but are here. Like I see someone named Jody. I don't know who Jody is, but thank you for checking this out, Jody. No, Vexless is on the waiting list, I believe. Catherine T is here. I don't know who Catherine is, but thank you for checking this out, Catherine. Ray Jane in the building. I haven't seen Ray Jane on a Monday night in like 2 weeks, and that feels like a year. I hope all is well, Ray Jane. Mary Blenderman is here. Oh, how can you not love Mary Blenderman, my 2021 Valentine? She is so awesome. Make sure that you look maryblenderman.com. When you spell Blenderman, that's with 2 N's. And make sure you go check her out. Ray Jane's website is itsrayjane.com, itsrayjane.com. Make sure you check her out. I see Elise B here. I got to hear her on Thursday night. Again, we have a Thursday night online open mic where I got to hear Elise. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's hosted by the beautiful and talented La Bruja. I also see my Pisces sister here, Poetic Desire in the building. I love this chick. She is all kinds of awesome. You see, she's actually in some of our highlights. She is a mainstay here. My man, Lawrence Chan is checking us out, man. He burned me when he's talking about how bad my Yankees are playing. Hey, Lawrence, how good are my Yankees looking right now, brother? I love Lawrence. He's all kinds of awesome. I'm glad he's checking in. I got to hear him on Thursday. He had been keep signing up, although he is on our waiting list tonight. I'm not sure if we're going to get to him, but I did get to hear him on Thursday, and he keeps showing a great deal of love in this online open mic, man. So I'm hope that we could get to him. You know, this dude's a treasure. So make sure put your information to the chat if you got Instagram so people can follow. Everyone make sure you do that. My man in Japan, Poetaku, is in the building. This dude is all the way out in Japan and checking us out. I, of course, I appreciate this world audience. All right, so if I missed anyone, I'm gonna go over it and start naming names again, but we're gonna get into our next person, and we are going to leave the open mic a little and go into the skiff verse. The New Eureka Poets Cafe OG Paul Skiffs, as some like to call him, the Jedi Master. If you've never heard him before, I'm letting you know, grab on to something. We're about to go into the skiff verse. Paul, let the people know where to find you, and then let's go. I'm ready, brother.
Hey, hi, everybody. I've just been posting most frequently lately on Skiffgram on Instagram. I want Marissa Prada's hat. Sorry to be so random. So I'm going to do this thing. I don't know if this is a disclaimer, but it's full of violence and sexual violence and descriptions of blood and more violence. And it's just, it's kind of New York centric in a peculiar way. If you deal with potential violence or pervasive violence every day, you will end up making fun of it. This is also kind of a spoof of Brecht, which will be obvious. And, you know, not like I need a ticket or a license to do this, but I've had a gun leveled at me before. It'll either really ground you or you'll go nuts. Surgical sculptor, my art in emergency. Pain, the masterpiece I create. Thrill is a nasty fate, because my thing for blood is loved by a world that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna dismember your understanding into irrelevance, force it to confess. A faceless police statistic is the kind of petty stardom you'd like best. The butcher block orgasm that sends my heart into blast off ballisticalness. An unerasable, senseless, sensational, lowly, mean, recreational act of bloody nonsense. I'm on the train, headed uptown to commit a ripoff with Mr. Random Chance, whose destination is your face. On the platform for all to see, we will cheat dreary routine. Your charming smile will be among the take. In a city of a gajillion vulnerable losers who don't know twisted fate is the rule, you can make a bet by riding in 2s or 3s, but for that choice of targets, I'm a stabbing fool. So before you leave home, take one last look at your mother's joy and pride. When next you see it, your reflection is going to have the signature of a new owner. I hope you like how with such a loving flourish that I've carved. When my beloved blade woos a cheek on the platform, people run and babies cry. An elevator full of singing murder weapons limbos to the body bag behind my smile, where with horny nonsense I seduce the world's human evil and fuck it with your pain. That is why my joy for your unclothed skull, dear, is your guilt too busy humping concrete to rationally explain. Well, good evening, stranger. Why so nervous? How unfortunate the train is late. I bet you did not know with an amorous piece of steel your face has got a very sharp date. Let me introduce you to my common box cutter. Yeah, I knew it was meant for your flesh to hack. When I saw your throbbing jugular, now all will watch your blood climax upon the track. Excuse me, muscle man, while my brutal bick slices a few buttons off your cleavage. I'd like to doodle on those 2 empty pages. Haven't you seen gratuitous violence like this up close before? Well, let me show you from the top. Bend over, virgin. I want to sheathe my blade up in your slot. My slicer will leave you so well cleft, your anal orifice won't have any wrinkles left. The train is pulling out on its run now. The sound is deafening, but listens closely. That's not just a scream of pain. Breezing up the stairs onto Broadway dances my bloodlust laughter clear and plain. I want to decorate your face with the muscles of the sob, scream, and cry. And because I've made their acquaintance, you'll sport a very high concept smile. Forget the face lifters on Park Avenue aboard the number 7 train. A 50-stitch frown is still the latest style. To me, pain is the Mona Lisa, Buddha's tear, a Van Gogh Starry Night. But now your face looks more like a Jackson Pollock. I'm such a virtuoso with a knife. See, I'm the shark, yeah. And like my teeth are white, yeah. But my name ain't Mackie, and I don't got a knife. just an economy box cutter. In the city, there's nothing less expensive than your life. Just like I off Mackie now and carve up his pretty melody to steal this song, but Mac the Knife lines were written by fucking Bertolt Brecht, who stole half his shit too, so what's so wrong? And when I'm laughing out later with the girl who's a bit too butch, I'll be thinking of your lovely new facial crease, dear, as she runs her lips up over my tongue. Later in the diner, all will turn to scowl and stare as the memory of your helpless horror fills my mouth with demented laughter caused by how gushing blood you pleaded for help, but no one cared. I know you'll catch on now, even if it's way too late. Art is the perfect crime. That's why you just stand there on the other side of this screen trying to act like innocent bystanders as I carve up all your faces with my rhymes. From jawbone to hairline, across the nose, above the eye, my box cutter sings a lovely flesh and blood lullaby. See, I'm the shark, man, and like my teeth are white, yeah, but my name, it ain't Mackie, and I don't got a knife. Just an economy box cutter, 99 cents. In the city, there's nothing less expensive than your life.
Mute yourself.
Holy
Shit.
Wild.
Wow, Paul, you went
American
all the way.
psychopath. I
There's
fucking
the
love
Jedi
it.
Master.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Paul Skiffgram on Instagram, paulskiff.com. When you spell skiff, that is with 2 F's. OG at the New Rican Poets Cafe. And I think it was Ray Jane who had said in the chat, like, this poem is New York as fuck. And it totally is. Make sure that you go give this dude a follow. So talented. And the way he rocks online, like he rocks in person. I think we're going to see him on Saturday too. I was so happy to see him the last time we were at the Wild Project. Wait. Hold on. I want to ask you something, Paul. I'm going to unmute you real quick. Paul, you're going to stick around to the end, right?
Yeah.
Will you please do us the honor of reading the Good Night, Sweet Poet poem to end the night?
Oh, that'd be my honor. You just got to get it over to me.
I will. I'll get it over to you. I'll get it over to you. All right. I'll send you the message.
Okay.
Awesome. Yes. Paul Skiff gonna close. We got an OG closing out the New Rican Poets Night, man. I came in feeling good. I'm gonna leave good. And next coming up, whoa, we better take it easy. We got a gangster coming up here next. All right, it's Gigi. Listen, y'all. Last week I got to have a conversation with Gigi. And this woman is not to mess with. You're about to see a very polite, well put together, clean woman share her poetry and whatnot. I'm telling you, this woman is a gangster. Don't let her fool you. All right. I gotta move. When she does her poem, just move away a little bit from the screen. Give yourself some distance, man. I don't want you to get cut. Gigi, let the people know where they can find you online and let's hear your poetry.
You can find me at iron_resilience on Instagram or at arcadian-poetry.com. By the way, I am Jody. I have my computer set up and because I don't want to confuse everyone, but I like to hype people up in the chat. And it's too much energy to then be up here because I'm standing for y'all. And then you can also see me on Saturday in person at the Wild Poet Project. I got some kind of ticket. I hope it's the right one. We'll figure it out. It's fine. I'm not even worried about it. Okay, so I kind of wanted to open with a joke because I have 2 kind of small poems. And I love this one. We've had a lot of heavy poetry. So this is an awful dad joke that my dad would always tell people. And I need to share it with you because it's so cringeworthy. So my dad was blind. And he would always, once in a while, catch you off guard. And he looked at me one day and he's like, Melinda, did you know that you and your mother met? We met at a blind date. And I was like, no, you didn't. you met at a dancing studio, and he leaned in and he goes, all of our dates were blind dates. And I was like, I hate you, I can't. So anyways, that was who my dad was. So, all right, I got 2 poems tonight. The first one is called Pinch an Inch, and the other one is a generational joke. Trigger warning for the second poem, because it talks about white privilege, and we can't talk about white privilege without Black oppression. So if you need a moment for a breath, I understand it. Okay. Pinch an inch. I love to pinch an inch, said by relatives at family gatherings, a squeezing of non-existent rolls on a child's hips, opening a wound of self-image that only grows, that is cauterized by saying it's just a joke. Don't take it so personally. Big girls, they're so emotional. Stripes can't be worn horizontally. Don't wear skirts too short. Don't keep eating while also being a member of the Clean Plate Club. I'd love to see less of you, was what was said to me at 7 by my doctor. And I started to love less of me as my body expanded, my insides collapsed on itself. Because you look so pretty underneath all that weight. The only weight I ever felt was everyone else around me. I shuffled my steps because if I lifted my feet too loudly, I'd be stepping on scales, scaling to size my portions, while social media is plastered with jokes that have measuring scale nooses around fat women's necks. Just jokes about how we should be happy when anyone finds us fuckable. When making jokes at your own expense, because if I can't be the pretty friend, maybe I'll be the funny one. Maybe I am the funny one. And maybe all your fat jokes just fucking sucked. And then this one's called the generational joke. It was just a joke, uttered under the breath of a white man, his breath smelling of kerosene, while his wife laughed at his microaggression was the match, a gas lit that alit the country who never really buried Jim Crow. It was just a joke that trickled down into school systems, into laws, into households, wrapped itself around police badges, trickled into water fountains, but it was just a joke when it never really affected you. I wonder if the punchline was bodies hitting asphalts, a joke wrapped up so neatly in a red line bow. When I hear it's just a joke, I remember in high school at my boyfriend's house when patois was thick in the air and a mother warned her son, saying white women are dangerous, and our relationship had no blessing. Because it was never just a joke when your punchline can be your son. I never thanked her for realizing that my mouth can be a gun. And if I'm not pushing forward, kissing me won't taste like the residue of coffee. It will taste metallic, like licking the barrel of a gun. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up.
Damn.
Gigi. Tell the truth, Gigi.
Hot. Just
Tell
love
the
you,
truth.
girl. Just
Oh my
love
God.
That
you.
was
Amazing.
so on
Well
point.
done again.
Oh man, it
Great.
tastes like the barrel of a gun. That
Hurry
was
up and
impressive.
get here.
Gigi Iron _resilience. Make sure that you give her a follow. I'm gonna see her this Saturday. And shout out to Terry Rose Jerkson, who's here. She's got the golden ticket. If y'all don't remember, and in case she needs to be reminded, Iron _resilience. Check out Gigi. Next up is my man Thomas Connor. Let me unmute him. Love having this dude around. Thomas, let the people know where they can find you online, and let's get into it, brother.
What's up? What's up, man? You can find me at Thomas Connor at Gmail. At Gmail. Thomas Connor. Don't be giving me no damn emails, I'm saying. You can find me, Thomas Connor, at Facebook and TAC7371 at Instagram. So I'm going to break. I didn't go to I had written something for tonight's theme, but I want to shout out all the poets that I was just published in this book. Gabriel College. I'm putting it up in the class. In the chat later, and my piece, as I've performed it here before, and I'm going to perform it again, in memoriam. I can't breathe. So I'm just going to get to it. I'm trapped, dragged, snagged under your knee, pinned, locked, unable to breathe. I beg, I struggle, I cry, I plead. Please, 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 I can't breathe. Your weight on my neck for 5 centuries. 9 minutes to eternity, I feel myself leave. I cough, I choke, I beg, I heave. Please, 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 I can't breathe. Death in the air, I moan and grieve. I pray for salvation of any variation. I feel this damnation, of this damnation, my death on every station. I feel my heart racing, my neck slowly breaking. I pray for liberation. Struggling to crawl, I can hear my kids bawl. I beg, I plead, I heave, I seize. Damn, I can't breathe. Your knee on my neck for 5 centuries. Mocking Kaepernick while slowly killing me. To you, I'm a pariah, a cop locker room joke. In one swift thunder, the world heard my neck broke. End poem. Peace.
Unmute yourself and give it
Yeah.
up.
Damn, Thomas. Every time. Every time. See if you're
Thank
snapping.
you for the reminder, bro.
Dulce
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gracias para comprobando
Gracias a todos,
tu
man. Peace and blessings.
escritura. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking time.
Whoa, that was crazy. Thomas Connor, make sure you give him a follow. And then, yeah, at the end, we heard Paul Skiff going over the sweet good night, sweet poem. I'm ready to hear him do that. We're going to hear him in about like 20 minutes. Make sure you give Thomas Connor a follow. The dude needs it right now. He's a Mets fan. Tides have been turning, Thomas. You thought I was going to let you slide and get away with it and not mention baseball? You see, Thomas turned his video off. He's like, I'm done. I'm not hearing it. I love it. I love you, brother. Yo, can I just say though, like, I don't want to give away his business, but like, he became a Mets fan, like, based on his dad, I think he has said, right, and that relationship with him. So I tease you about a Mets fan, but being a Mets fan, but like, I think baseball's a beautiful thing amongst father and son. You know, I'm really huge into it, and it meant a lot with me with my dad with my son. Unfortunately, not my dad. So I you know, I can respect that, and I love that. Thomas Connor. And just because I'm teasing him, I would highly suggest you don't. This dude is a martial artist. He kicks ass, and he adores me. And I got a hood pass from him, so I'm not going to get messed up. Just let y'all know. Next up, we've got a new voice. I kind of feel like I think she's new, but now I feel like maybe I've seen her before. Grace Gresham. Did I say your last name right, Grace?
You did.
Awesome. So are you new here? I feel like I've seen you before, or you've never...
I am new. I popped in on the last Thursday's open mic, so maybe you saw me.
That's where I saw her from. Grace, where are you located?
Right now I am in New Jersey. I'm originally from Alabama, so I found y'all online, my people.
Awesome, that's what's up. Well, I'm glad to have you here. As you've been seeing, first off, let us know where we can follow you online, and then after that, let's hear your poetry. I'm ready for it.
All right, I have 2 poems, so they may go a little quickly, but you can follow me on Instagram at g.e.gresha. I will put it at the bottom when I am finished. All right, so the first one is Banquet Nights. I heard angels descend, shed their wings in obscene woods beneath crescent hills on banquet nights. Charming descendants shuffle into beauty's loose arms, harrowing the waltz, scouring for the maidens, melody stirring the night. Of crescendos which pool tides and lie moons, they take the ramble of girls within, cream gowns and brulee pillars, but they and them beings partake, rummaging the corners, the corridors of night. Angels and girls not in the slight, ascertain neither pockets a watch. Seething depths court those into hazes blue and light of encapsulated nightlife, where they lie as the infinite sky meets time. And they've said 10 goals squander near an angel's cry. He is stumbling somewhere near the huntsman's home, being eaten alive in the fur claws of dirt and day. Okay. Now the second one, I guess you could say it has a trigger warning because it does talk about violence. So the title is Violence Isn't the Way. Neither is war. But I crave eyes ripened and flared and broken skin as thread and needles. Don't tell me violence isn't the way when the life poured out of my eyes washes away the bloody brick road, but it can be siphoned in other means. Don't tell me violence isn't the way your wisdom considered eternal, inferior to days, to hours, minutes in which my future draws near. Strain the flesh, numb my strangled soul. Can you soothe the swelling from my racing heart or stall the shivers at dawn? Don't tell me violence isn't the way. Your gradual face of humility, it taunts me and her and them. As blood, our endeavors, priceless as peace, for these aspirations appear on more than a piece of paper. Don't tell me violence isn't the way. Neither is war.
Mute yourself. Give it up.
One of us.
Yes,
One
yes.
of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. One.
I'm enjoying that, Grace Gresham. But Grace, you messed up though. You messed up. Because now you're not allowed to do anything on Monday night but come hang out with us, all right? You heard our cult leader. He said you're one of us, all right? So I don't care if you got your eye on the cutie. I don't care if you got this unbelievable job opportunity. You say no. Monday nights, you're here with us. Grace Gresham. And Grace, please put your info into the chat as well, once again, so that the people can see it, okay? Oh, man, I love it. New voices. Let's keep going with another new voice. And I hope I say her name right. Is it Manju Bangalore?
Yeah, the A makes a U noise, so it's Manju.
Manju
Yes.
Bangalore. I say it right?
Yes, yes.
Manju. All right, awesome, awesome. Where are you located?
I'm currently in Bed-Stuy.
Oh, Brooklyn in the building. That's what's up. That's what's up. And this is your first time rocking with us, correct?
I'm a baby poet. This is my second open mic ever. So y'all got to be gentle with me and we'll make it through this.
Awesome. Yes, he is. No problem. Everyone's just watching you. This is recorded. Thousands of people will see it. It's not a big deal. You're good. You're in good hands. Okay. Awesome. All right. So you saw how we do. Let the people know where they can follow you online if you have social media, and then we're ready for your poetry.
Awesome. Well, as much as I love poetry, I also love space. So my IG is Astronaut Manju. You can find me there. Let's connect. And here we go. This is called A Love Song. I think often of what it means to be free. I think often of the difference between dedication and servitude, between labor and love. I think often of long lines outside of markets for a loaf of bread, of my mom squeezing tomatoes over rice for dinner, of the rain that wreaks havoc with my curls, of the ones dreaming of a different past, of the places I escaped to on days I lay in bed without hope for tomorrow. I think I've been a hospital for lost souls. I think I've given more than I've ever received, but that this movement has birthed into me work I cannot repay. I think that this movement deserves everything and then some, that this movement for freedom, for liberation, to run off with the keys to our restraints, to take back what was ours, our culture, our history, I think that it will be difficult. I think some of us will die. I think some of us will get lost along the way. I think it will be lonely. I think some of us will hug ourselves for warmth, that some of us will avoid heartbreak like the floor is lava. I think that it will be joyful. That radical joy is a phrase I hear a lot, but an idea I think is worth living for. That you or I have more power in our laughter alone than they ever could, and even more together. That they too might find their joy one day. I think women have been conditioned to say, I think so, I'll stop. I'll say, I know, I believe, I'm sure of. I'll say, I hope. I'll say, I hope that this country will one day be as free in practice as it is in principle. I'll say, I mean. I'll say, I mean that all men who are created equal do not look like you or me. They do not look like a queen bee coming into her womanhood. They do not look like a person who bleeds, who cannot afford their pads, who uses the dirty rags they use to mop up our blood, to mop up our own blood. They do not look like the union worker. Her wife's name is Jane. Her wife's job is Jane. They do not resemble us. They do not resemble us. At the medical school, they tell us we will heal. They tell us we will remedy. They tell us to call Jane pre-Roe v. Wade, pre-first grade. I wasn't yet born, but I know that things don't look so good now either. That regulation after regulation means my body isn't mine. You know, they teach us the difference between right mind and left mind, but they don't teach us how law differs from justice. How justice has rarely been delivered to our doorsteps, how Amazon promises 2-day shipping for everything, but our unalienable rights dispatched to us by our founding mothers, you can't ask for them. Audre Lorde said it best, their tools won't ever dismantle their house. My political education on a steep curve, but my teacher still stops and asks, are you a child who thinks they're stupid when they don't know something, or a child who looks it up? Imposter syndrome concocting a scenario where we do not shine bright, the preacher reminding us that we are not dull, the sermon reminding us that we do not have to sit muted. We are not any of those things the world has bestowed upon us. I am a fighter, a lover, and a hell of a cook. You cannot prepare a meal when your pantry is empty, even though I promise I'll try. How can we do this work for others when we say we do not like others, when we fight so hard for them, when we put our life on the line for them? How do we create a home that is free? This isn't a riposte, it's an homage to all the people we have lost, all the people who were antagonists in their own novels, who were forced to give up their pens. This is for all those trapped, carrying a tattered book with rough edges in their backpacks, who spent their lives convincing others of their value. This is for all those who have failed and won, who have cried and laughed. For those who do not live in binaries, I'll shake you and say, do you not see how we shine ever brighter, how our strength is in our numbers? We'll say we do. We'll say we do anything in our power for you, because ultimately this is a love song to you and all the others who both have and will shakingly and courageously stand their ground. We'll say we do anything in our power for you, because we are only because you continue to be. We'll say we fight. We'll say we fight hard for you, love hard for you, because that is where we are led. We'll say we dream. We'll say we dream that these footsteps will pave a more even road than the one we inherited from our mothers before us, with the hope that our children and grandchildren won't just walk towards a brighter and fairer future, but that they will one day run. Until the world stops requiring suffering from us to achieve and to love, we'll say we can and we will.
Ooh, unmute.
Welcome me.
One of us.
One
One of us.
That's that
That was
poem.
amazing.
That's that poem.
Thank you.
That's that poem.
Family, you see, she tried to play us, right? But we've seen this before. It's just my second open mic. Please be gentle. I'm not good. And then smack laying it down. Like, you can't fool us. We've seen poets do that before. Make sure you put your information into the chat. Oh my, we've had 3 different new voices today. Grace, Manju, it's not Manju. Manju, Grace, and Victoria. Oh my God. And we got 3 new awesome voices, part of our community, who have just ruined their Monday nights because they have to be with us all the time and come here and entertain me. And then I get to go to my bosses and they're like, that's a great open mic. And they give me all the credit. Oh, I love it. Manju, put all your information into the chat again, because we are lazy. We're humans. We don't type things out. We like to copy and paste. So make sure you put it in there. All right. Now we are going to a familiar voice, Mr. Propaganda Poet, who has kindly taken the time to get off his motorcycle and stop touring the US so he could be with us. Brother, you know the deal. Let the people know where they can find you online. Now let's get into it.
Well, given what our topic is, I figured I would put up the Propaganda Poet on the rack tonight and come out as musician Oso Lobo. Real quick, though, I'm going to start out with a haiku, because I think that it's important, and this ain't no fucking joke. This is called Divided We Fall, an American haiku. Freedom isn't free. That is the whole fucking point of masks and vaccines. Okay, so I'm going to write, this is a song I wrote like 25 some years ago, and I've been revising a lot of my old songs and recognizing that they're not really all that different now. And maybe someone will listen now because they didn't listen before. But this is called Controlled by Remote, or Saturday Morning Programming. I am Toys of War and you are Easy Bake. I am hard at work, you are house to make. You were born to nurture, so I guess I'll just sit on my ass and take. You are Barbie and I am G.I. Joe. I am strong and fast, you are much too slow. I know that you mean yes all the times you tell me no. monster truck and you are minivan. I am out at bars and you are family clan. You know it's just my way and you ought to understand. Cause after all, you are makeup and I am erector set. I shall build the world and you can wash my sweat. I'll give you rings and things, but that's all you'll ever get. Cause you are pink and I am blue. I guess that means I get to tell you just what to do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My pronoun? That one dude who just kicked your disrespectful ass, fucker. Pink and blue are so old school. We need to rebuild with a new set of tools. Saturday morning should have come with a warning. Gender rules were made by fools. Pink and blue are so old school. We need to rebuild with a new set of tools. Saturday morning should have come with a warning. Gender rules were made for fools. Thank you for listening. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. Thank you for everything you are, being who you are, and doing what you do. You make the world a better place. And Lord knows the world needs to be a better place. Thank you.
Give it up for Propaganda Poet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for encouraging your behavior. Yay.
Time stands still for us. Thank you, Paul.
I feel like Propaganda Poet, like he's got something planned. And every day, like he keeps, every week, he's like, I thank you for encouraging my behavior. So when he's in front of the court judge, you're going to be like, oh, but the new, yo, encourage my behavior. Propaganda Poet, go give him a follow. And I'm loving how the beard's coming out, man. I tried to have that beard too, like with the sides sticking there, but it didn't look right on me. But you rocking it well. And the beanie, I love it. I love it. All right, real quick. I got time for one more poet. I want to apologize to VexLex, who keeps getting onto the waiting list. VexLex, please, you guys signed up earlier. I haven't heard you in a while. Just Joy, we haven't heard in a while. Diane Ward, who's here. I think I'm gonna see Diane on Saturday. I really hope so. I gotta email you, Diane. GK Jairam, love this dude, man. The Urban Cowboy Poet, appreciate him. I haven't seen him in a while. He was on the waiting list. Noelia, she couldn't show up today. Noelia is a beast. IC, yo, dude, you gotta sign up for it. Please. Get on there at 7:59, keep hitting refresh, keep hitting refresh. And Mon Ami Amandio Coelho, who is not here, but he signed up on the open mic list. But we're gonna get to one person on the waiting list, and that is Mr. Norm Mathematics, who has a new book out. Well, relatively new, it's new this year, Black Calculus. Let me unmute him. Norm, it is a pleasure to see you as always, brother. You know the deal. Where can we find you online?
Oh my gosh, I am so blessed to be the one and only off the waiting list. Thank you so much. Norm_Maddox on IG, Norm Maddox on Facebook. And this piece is on point. It's called Black on Black Crime. I met up with Rafa at Fort Funston to chat and walk with his dogs, Kimasabi and Roca. I had left a can of almonds at Rafa's after a visit earlier in the week. He brought what was left of the almonds in the can. He flipped me the can, and since I was already out of my car, I left the can of almonds on the top of my car. He asked me if I was gonna put the can in the car. I told him, Rafa, ain't nobody gonna take my can of almonds. If someone does take it, they probably need it more than I do. So I left the can of almonds on the roof of my car. Me and Rafa walked towards the sand dunes where we could let the dogs run and we could talk. While we were chatting, a couple of ravens came over to listen in on our conversation. Both of them were standing about 3 meters away so they could watch us and keep eyes on the two dogs. One of the blackbirds, looking a little raggedy, cawed out something to the other blackbird, and they took off in the direction of the parking lot. From about 50 meters away, I could see the premonition playing in my mind. Smart black birds accustomed to human artifacts left unattended, snatch it up and fly away. But that's a can, and it doesn't even look like food. My almonds are safe. Whoa. I see them winging it to the gate near where my car is parked. Hey, wait a minute. Look at that raggedy raven take 2 flaps of a wing, and he's standing on the roof of my car. His wingman landed on the hood of my car as if he was looking for a possible intervention. I saw what was happening. I started calling to the blackbirds to get off my car and to leave my can of almonds alone. I took off my fedora and started running towards my car, waving said fedora while yelling at the black marauders to leave my can of almonds alone. The black bird grabbed the can in his horny beak, lifted the can of almonds, and flew straight up in the air, maybe 4 meters with his partner, and dropped the can to the ground to see what would happen, probably thinking that something tasty would spill out. The lid was secured, so nothing spilled out. I'm running towards my car, waving my hat, screaming at the black birds to leave my nuts alone. The birds were paying me no mind. However, dog walkers and human walkers were observing this black man running urgently, waving his hat and arms in the air, yelling for someone or something to leave his nuts alone. Dog walkers pulled their leashed dogs closer, while human walkers picked up their children to shield them from some possible danger, and other walkers just stopped in their tracks to view the scene. I watched in stunned amazement that their plan would have worked if the lid was not secured. I had been stalked, measured, and almost robbed by these 2 black pirates. Me and Rafa were the only witnesses. Everybody else got a view of a black man having a psychotic episode, being chased by someone who was after his gonads. The 2 flew off long before I reached my car. I picked up the dented can, laughing at myself from the perspective of the informed observer. Rafa came running up behind me, busting his guts, laughing at this ludicrous scene. From being scouted by the 2 black birds, watching them fly over to my car, land on my car, lift the can and drop it to the ground while a black man was waving his hat and arms, screaming like a madman. He did warn me to put the can of almonds inside the car. And all he could get out of his mouth between the guffaws was that people had witnessed a black on black crime and probably would not report it to the authorities. One of the dog walkers cautioned me, wearing a half grin, that I have to be careful where you leave your nuts around here at Fort Funston. Touche. Peace.
I love
Oh, that was the funniest fucking thing
That
I've
was
heard.
awesome, Norm. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my
What a way
God.
to close the night. What a way to close the night.
Black
What a way to
Pride.
close the
That
night.
was another funny. Oh man.
Get his book, Black Calculus.
Comedic genius.
I am so mad I missed that. I wish I was there to see that. Leave my nuts alone. Leave them alone. Oh, I love it. Norm, mathematics. Norm, make sure you put your info in the chat so that people can follow you. They can get Black Calculus. Oh, I've had such a good night. One more time, I want to share this with you. This Saturday, I still have about 15 slots. If you want to sign up, this is for the event that's in the middle of the day. It's not the 7 to 9 event because we have one at night as well. Oh my God, it's a whole poetry day for me. But from 2 to 5 in front of the Wild Project, it's a block west of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe on 3rd Street and Avenue B. We're going to shut down the block. People are going to perform on the street. We did it, I think it was in June we did it. So we're going to rock out again in August. All of you in New York City area or can make it, please come down. Please come hang out with us. Like it's going to be, and it's free. It's free. So make sure you come and hang out. With that being said, one more time, I want to give my co-host, Nick, opportunity. Go ahead, brother. Promote. Let the people know about your open mics and where they can find you.
Well, You can find me at The Real Nick P on IG, TheRealNickP. I'm gonna be hosting this Wednesday. Word is right. Come check that out, 9:15. Vocabulary this Thursday at 10 p.m. starting time EST. And I got one more thing I'm hosting because I just booked this in the middle of the show that I'll be hosting at BWAM's Barbed Wire Open Mic Series that's going on in El Paso in September. More details on that to come. And you can bet you can see me this Saturday too as well. So you're going to see me in person too. Oh!
I'm looking forward to it at The Real Nick P. Nick Paleologos, man. Look at that, brother. I appreciate you helping me out today. Every time Nick co-hosts and helps me out, I get booted a few times. Like, he gets put to work, man. But I'm glad he's making moves and making hosts. I saw some people saying, what about the 7 to 9 show on Saturday? I'm putting that information up tomorrow morning. Like I said, I fell behind this week with being, feeling under the weather, but mostly because I couldn't see my kid, which really killed me. So I got to get up on top of that. But this Saturday is going to be all-day event from 12 to 1. Like I said, I'm at Lincoln Center. Oh, I haven't performed in Lincoln Center in like a year and a half, 2 years. I'm excited to go back there. I used to be a resident artist there. And then 2 to 5 Wild Project, and then 7 to 9 at the New York. Please follow the New Yorican Poets Cafe. Look it up on Facebook and YouTube. If you enjoyed tonight, or if you performed and you want to go see your performance, it's going to be up there on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, you can follow me, Advocate of Words with the Z. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter. I'm on a few things and whatnot. So you can make sure they follow me, please. And with that being said, let me unmute Mr. Paul Skiff. Make sure that he's got the poem ready. Are we good to go, Paul? You got it?
Yeah, I'm set.
Okay, awesome. Family, it has been a great Monday. With that being said, we are now going to close out with the OG. We are going to leave the open mic through the Skiff first with Paul Skiff. Paul, the floor is yours, brother. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for being here again, and be safe this week. Buenas noches, dulce poeta. Gracias por compartiendo tu escritura. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarin into your home. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Yorican Poets Cafe, hosted by Advocate of Words. On behalf of the community tonight, I, Paul Skiff, would like to say good night, sweet poet.